Well, I'm waiting for you to go live anytime now.
I clicked the button a couple of seconds ago, and I'm waiting for my fiber optic. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mehcast, and oh, what a motley crew we are.
Yay.
Currently waiting for nothing to happen. I'm back to playing Starstruck Vagabond. I actually forgot I was playing this game.
You
Oh, there
forgot
we
you were
go.
you forgot you were playing this game.
Well, I've been playing a lot of stuff, and
This
I
is why, Alex. This is
this is
why
why
I have what I do on a weekly basis. This have every week. Anyway,
oh yeah, no,
Hey,
it's
anyway, I'm live on my end, so welcome back to the cast. You know what a motley crew we are today.
yeah, it's
Hey,
fair.
we are back with the third mother.
Yeah, it's fair when you say, like, yeah, try to finish up one thing before you keep going to the other, but, like, and I understand, I really get it, but at the same time, like, every now and again, like, I just get bored, and I was like, I've got this thing. Why
I don't
don't I
remember
just,
what.
why don't I just go ahead and
A
do
sec.
something else if I get bored?
Gotta check my input.
So I was having a hell of a time trying to redeem a game on Steam earlier. So let me look this up actually, because now I don't remember the name, of all the stuff. Okay, so there's this company called Focus Interactive, right? And their web store is going offline. So travel to the Truza sector and search for debris near 5860. So, system map, what sector are we in? Our map. I'm in the Heduk system. I've got to get to Truza. Okay.
Much
Yeah, so
better.
Focus Entertainment is closing down their web store. And I didn't know that I had an account there, really, until I got the email that they said, hey, we're closing down the web store. I was like, oh, okay. I'll check out and see if I have anything there. Turns out I bought, like, a game called The Surge from them. Like, sufficient power. Essential workers only. We agree. Essential workers only, even though there's nothing there. One of 3 jobs completed. 1 planet surveyed. I got the upgrade unit. Okay, so I can go there, and then I can go there, and then I can go on 2, and I should be good.
Hey, level up.
So,
Oh, goody.
Kevin, there's no audio on your stream again.
Are you fucking
Oh,
kidding
dear.
me?
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Why does this keep happening?
no idea.
2, 23. What the hell, why not? Let's go there. We haven't checked out that place yet. Oh wait, hang on.
Okay.
Probably ought to go...
There we go. Much better.
There we go.
So, Damon, you've been telling us, you've been
Well,
telling me about
yeah,
your,
I'm almost done with my story. I know I barely started it, but let me go ahead and finish that up before we move on. So, oh yeah. So, Focus Entertainment closing down their store, and the, turns out that I bought a game called The Surge on their website, and I didn't realize that. So I was like, hey, let me figure this out. And I went on there to try and get the game, but the website's fucked up because the store is closing down. So I had to email them, and they sent me my Steam keys. Now, the Steam key for The Surge was not working. And I was like, and I told them that, and they said, it was like, oh, well, check and see if you have another Steam account. And I was like, I have one Steam account that has anything on it. I technically have another, but that was just because I was testing something out, and I can't remember why I have it, but I didn't redeem any games to it, And so I checked, I even checked the one that doesn't have anything on it. I was like, yeah, no, this very clearly is not, there's not a, I drop a thing here? Okay, whatever. Anyways, and so they said, it was like, hey, since this is a, this is a special case and the store's closing down and whatnot, we'll just give you another key. That'll work. And, so they sent me another key, and then I went to redeem it, and through the browser, and Steam browser, well, the Steam, browser, yeah, the browser redemption said, hey, you already own this game. And I was like, shit, I own this game, I checked. And so I was looking through my library, looking through, try and see if I'd hidden it by accident or whatever. No. So I redeemed the key on my desktop, and that just worked.
Somehow?
And it didn't... It's not that it necessarily that it just worked. It's more that, I had to, try it. I had to try it with and without dashes before it worked, and then it just worked somehow. Thank you, Todd Howard, even though Todd Howard had nothing to do with, The Surge. Yeah. That's kind of a not interesting story, but it is somewhat interesting, I suppose. I don't know. Anyways, Damon has been watching Young Justice lately.
Yep.
Please regale us with your with tales of your
With your tale of woe?
Tales of your exploration and of this I hesitate to use the word television series.
Okay, well, I will admit I did enjoy it, but it does have issues. I do think Season 1's the strongest season. Season 2 not as good.
I would agree there that yes, Season 1 is the strongest.
Yeah, and Season 3 was not as bad as I thought, but oh good god, the animation went down. I mean, I know they use different animation studios, but Season 4 with the lack of animation and the animation running out with a lot of narration, okay, that pisses me off.
Season 4, I feel like they could have cut down by several episodes and not lost anything. Just spread that budget around to the rest of the season. Yeah.
Because when we get to Zatanazak, I'm like, oh my god, enough with the exposition.
Please, no more splaining!
Yeah, I mean, the first two arcs were alright, but keep in mind, I just finished Zatanna's arc in Season 4. I'm not done with that yet. But I will say that the biggest issue with the show is lack of focus, introducing too many characters, and it's all over the place. And I think the problems started showing since Rocket joined the team at the end of Season 1. I'm like, we don't know much about you. You have little to no development. And even the characters introduced in Season 2 barely get any development, except maybe Bart Allen and, well, Blue Beetle got a lot of spotlight in season 2. And also, fuck Lagan. I hate that bastard.
I liked him, and then I hated him.
Yeah, that's
fine. But then again,
like,
I also hate Miss Martian in that show after a point as well.
Yeah, like when she abused her powers in season 2 and some other stuff.
Oh, wow. It's like we're hearing an exact mirroring of the complaints that you and I made back when we were watching the show.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't hate McGann, but I can definitely see why, because, you know, season 2
It's one of those things where it's not necessarily that I directly hate the character as much as it is that, personally, I hate what they wound up doing to the character. It's like with Daenerys in Game of Thrones, where, you know, they make you hate the character, and it's not in a good way, you know?
Yeah. But I will say one thing, at least the music in the show is great.
Yeah, I'll have to take your word for that. I don't remember any of the music.
Yeah, and then again, these guys worked on a lot of DC shows.
But,
yeah,
you know.
I actually like the theme from season 1, but that had the better opening.
Yeah. Were you irritated when they started playing that and like this fake nostalgia flashback they had?
Oh, you mean the season 4 opening?
Well, no, like the one where...
Oh, the Fever Dream?
Yeah, the Fever Dream thing,
in season 3? Dude! Monkeys must love you, because you were bananas if you thought the Wall Man was gonna stay behind the cave and miss this.
I do think that Fever Dream.
I do think that should have been fully animated. That would have made it a lot better, because there are just so many goddamn animation shortcuts.
Yeah, and season 1 has its fair share of problems, but those problems, like, they're the kinds of things that only I see. And, like, I'm hyperactive about this stuff. I see things and I'm like, that's an animation error. I can't stand that. And like everybody else is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, there, it's right there. And then I look like a fucking crazy man. But you know, then you have like the really obvious stuff, like in season 2 is where it really starts. Season 3 and 4 are where it gets really bad. Like, that's when the characters just start standing around, not talking.
Yep, and the animation is all bloody stiff. I mean, at least with the first 2 seasons, you know, they had the same 2 animation companies, Lotto and Moy Animation, and their work on the first 2 seasons was good, but, you know, you get to Dr. Movie, Digital-Imation, and of course Studio Mir, I don't know how to pronounce that, and it's so stiff, and Studio Mir does all of season 4, and my god. And this company worked on Legend of Korra and some other shit. In fact, a lot of these companies worked on Western shows.
I remember Legend of Korra looked okay. It was like they had more detail to the animation, but they never had, it was never as good as Avatar. Like, the best that Avatar got, Korra never wound up hitting, and the worst it was worse than your average in Avatar, you know? And I'm not really saying this as anybody who, because I've only seen, like, clips of, like, here's a bad piece of Korra animation, you know?
Starting to think that South Korean animation has fallen. Sorry.
Well, South Korean animation can look really good depending on... Because, like, there's a lot of stuff like, there's a lot of anime that has good things done in, you know, good cuts done in South Korean studios and whatnot. But,
Sonic X had to rely on a South Korean studio.
Huh. Yeah, we had a segment in, the Sega forums called Quality Animation. And, Sonic X was something of a frequent, God damn it. Sonic X had a lot of quote-unquote quality in it.
Oh boy. And
Yep.
I really don't like the bad-looking shots, and it seems like it's more to blame on the key animation stuff, and
Yeah, there's
not so
a
much
lot
on
of
the
bad key
supervisor.
animation in Young Justice, unfortunately. It's
Yeah.
like with Cooler's Revenge. The second Cooler
Hugh-
film.
Hugh
where,
Scott
Yeah.
Frere
Oh yeah,
going,
you're talking
"Fuck this
about Return
movie.
of Cooler.
Yeah. Oh
Fuck
yeah,
this
Return
movie!
of Cooler.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie."
There are
Yeah,
a lot
that-
of awful key shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with that one.
Yeah. Don't even
Well,
get me
well,
started on
well.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 5, because some of those episodes look awful.
And it's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
supposed to be one of the best arcs in the entire show.
God, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
has... Unfortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have some problems.
Yes. Yeah. Go on.
Oh no, that was most of where I was going to go with that, because like they just they messed up a lot. It's a TV animation thing, unfortunately, where a lot of TV animation winds up cutting corners to meet the deadline because they air weekly in Japan, and these days, you know, we have seasons, so we're not airing purely weekly anymore.
Yeah.
So you wind up with higher quality stuff.
Now we fight a tank.
Deploy the Landmaster! No, not that tank, Fox.
Line reactor offline. Warp engine offline. And what the hell? Non-functional. Input interrupted. Unpowered. Realign. Go outside the ship to do it? Okay. Okay, so the reactor's online now. Okay, that's good. Okay.
What game did you say that you're playing, Alex?
Starstruck Vagabond. Game came out last
Starstruck
year.
Vagabond. Okay.
Jesus Christ. The NPCs in this and many other games, unfortunately, cannot lift a finger to save their own skins.
Yeah. So when I finish Young Justice Season 4, I'll share my final thoughts.
Okay.
Also, let's just say I can't get the Hello Megan theme out of my head, and even I've started saying, Hello Megan!
Oh, God.
I got it.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, that's never gonna leave my head now.
Yeah, that...
But hey, at least there's a reason why it's said, so...
It's... I've kind of...
Yeah?
Did it bother you, the thing about the, Justice League, like, being all this secretive and covert? Because it really bothered me.
Now, it didn't bother me, but I will say the League is just meh
Yeah.
in this show. But I will admit, I did like Shazam's moments in Season 1. He was pretty entertaining.
I thought it was kind of funny how he, like, when he was, So that thing with the episode where the adults and the kids were all like sent to different parallel dimensions, and the Justice League found out that he was like a kid transforming into an adult. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But like, I don't like Superboy's relationship with Superman in that show. It really bugged the fuck out of me. The way Superman treated that kid, and
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And I will say that no, Clark, he's not your brother, even if you treat him like one. He's practically your son and Lex Luthor's, because
yes,
he has both of your DNA.
Which is literally what Kid Flash said in the first episode. Well, second episode, technically, but it's a two-parter, so, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I will admit, Wally's death was bullshit. There's no denying that.
Yeah, I remember Kevin and I screaming at the screen when that happened.
Yes, I saw the reaction. And with other characters, death is just meaningless. Looking at you, Halo. But at least it's kind of a power.
Halo as a character is fucking bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, she was okay in Season 3. Season 4, I'll share my opinion when I get to it.
Yeah.
In fact, I do think that Season 3, in some ways, was a little bit better with a few characters than Season 2, and the time skip isn't as bad, but it still has problems. But I will say, Vic becoming Cyborg was fucked up.
You know what else is fucked up? Having Cyborg's voice actor in that show and not having him voice Cyborg.
Yep, because Kari Payton played a majority of black people in that cartoon.
No,
I will admit, Rocket's kid saying, "You got a baby in there," cracked me the fuck up. That
All right,
was
we
so
defeated the
inappropriate.
Chapter 3 boss.
Nice.
What are we gonna do now? Going to Disney World!
I'm going to Disney World.
Oh my god. What I find a little interesting is, even with some new characters joining the team...
Come on, they got another one!
We do get to see them as minor characters, like in maybe a previous episode. But they don't get enough time to develop.
Oh hey, it's the real main character of the game.
Yeah, that's something I appreciate. It is, like, the background material, it can be decent.
Oh, Lucas summoned the frog.
But
no, it's a Drago.
But there's a lot of really bad world building in that show, where they just don't explain stuff. Like the design of the base is something that I genuinely can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello. That's a big mamma jamma.
The whole secret Justice League thing that, like, the thought that they could even... Yes, there's nothing left and I'm running out of oxygen, so yes, I am returning.
I don't think this one's happy about a significant other being turned into a cyborg.
For any period of time?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of bugs me. The idea that... the idea that you'd be able to keep a giant space base secret... that bugged the hell out of me, too.
Yeah, the Watchtower.
Yeah, it's like, hey, the Watchtower is this big fuck off rock orbiting Earth. Are you, like, gonna explain? anything, really? No?
Hmm.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I do think something should have been explained, like what happened during the time skip. And I can definitely
I
agree
think the
with
time skip shouldn't have happened. DC shows have this really irritating habit of skipping a bunch of time that is highly essential to knowing what the hell is going on in the plot. I'm looking at you, Arrow Season 2.
And personally, I think Season 2 had the worst time skip. Like 5 years, and would have been nice if we showed Robin becoming Nightwing, or the characters that got killed off.
God, something I really hate how that show just sidelined Robin towards the end.
Yep.
It's not like he's one of the most popular characters in your whole thing, guys.
Yeah, you're talking about Dick Grayson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best one. Though, Tim Drake was very underdeveloped in this show.
I think everybody was underdeveloped in the show, honestly. Because, like, even when the characters get time on screen, they don't have... The stuff doesn't stick, you know? So you've got the...
Now we've got the end of
McGann
chapter dramatic reading.
So you have the McGann Connor relationship.
As
and that
Billy
doesn't
Village
stick.
is now transforming exactly how the newly come peddler had planned. Only a handful of villagers realize that things were good and right are being tossed away one after the other.
Potassium.
Although prosperity is increasing, an eerie darkness seems to be growing heavier over the village at the same time. However, within that darkness, a frail young boy grows ever stronger. Soon Lucas will repaint this tale of sadness with a bright new color. The deeper the darkness, the brighter the sunrise at dawn. The once coddled Lucas is now on his way to becoming a brilliant young son.
You say that like you're questioning the way that this was written.
Oh.
How does the way I'm reading the...
Because every time you end the sentence, your inflection changes to where it sounds like a question. Or an act of confusion. It's like, huh? Who translated this shit?
Worst part is... And now we get this little montage. I love
Get
this.
a montage! Even Rocky had a montage!
Yeah, but so the development
this
the
is-
characters get doesn't stick. Especially between seasons. So, McGann, Connor, that doesn't stick.
Yeah, in Season 2 they break up off screen,
Yeah,
yes.
McGann, Calder, that doesn't stick. Calder and basically anyone, that doesn't stick.
Not Calder, Lagoon Boy.
Oh, Lagoon.
Yeah,
Or
I
whatever.
hate Lagoon Boy. Like, Jesus, guys, get a room and stop rubbing it in Connor's face. Now, at least I got why Connor broke up with her. I understood why.
See, like, I can understand it, but the thing is, all of the things that led to him breaking up with her happened off screen. So,
That's right.
it's one of those cases where, like, I get it. I ain't gotta like it, but I get it, you know? Like, it's like how in Arrow Season 2, like, Oliver went back to the fucking island after the earthquake and is like, hey, do you maybe want to address Malcolm Merlin destroying the city? Are we going to address your best friend dying? Oh, no, nothing's going to be addressed. Okay. Everything
Alright,
is
so
just... Everything's just gonna be glossed over.
Now we time skip 3 years later.
3 years later.
So now the question I want to ask is: are there any
Yeah.
titties in Titty Boo?
What now?
The name of the club that we're going to be going to is called Club Titty Boo.
Mm.
So now we're suddenly in it. So now Tasmilly Village is suddenly looking more like Onette from Mother 2.
Nintendo. Why
It's
aren't you
going
printing
from-
money with an Earthbound 2 remake or an Earthbound 2 port? Other 3.
Yep. And you want to know something?
Because
Sorry.
remember what Reggie said about that? This instead.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, the
Yeah.
game's only on Switch Online in Japan and not anywhere else.
Fucking hell.
Gay.
Yeah. Even though there are Japanese games on Switch Online outside of Japan.
Sin and Punishment. Released
F-Zero
on the,
Climax.
Released on the eShop.
Wow.
One of the many cases of where I just do not like Nintendo.
Yeah, as much as I like their franchises, they've done some shady shit.
Here's a search for debris near 5860.
I don't even think we need to remind people about Disaster Day of Crisis, Fatal Frame 4, and the games
So now
that made up
currency is a thing.
made
Okay.
up Operation Rainfall.
Money, 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 money.
I remember Operation Rainfall. Operation Rainfall was fucking amazing as a
Campaign.
as a campaign. The fact that we managed to pull it off is even crazier.
Yeah.
All 3 of the, and now here's the thing. Xenoblade is the only one to get a fucking port since then. No Pandora.
No
what was
Pandora's
it?
Tower or
Yeah,
The Last
No
Story.
Pandora's Tower and no The Last Story ports for Wii U or Switch. And the thing is, Pandora's Tower was the best one, and it took too long to come out. It was like one of the last games published for the Wii.
Yeah, it was a late release. And they shouldn't have to be late releases if Nintendo actually got their shit together.
It came out in Europe before it did in America, and that's why the dub is in British English.
All 3 games came out in every other region besides North America.
Yep.
Yeah, and I see Tasmania Village has went from olden day to modern day.
Yeah, like I said, it's becoming more like
Times,
Onap.
Zoobs,
Yeah.
pinballs are garbage.
You want to know another game that almost suffered the same fate?
Sure.
What?
Which one?
Devil's Third.
That should have suffered the same fate.
Yeah. Because it turned out to be a pretty terrible game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nintendo, I think that they kind of... I heard somewhere along the line Nintendo was not originally going to publish it, and then NXT was going to step up if they didn't, but then they backtracked and decided, yeah, we're going to publish it. And I can only imagine it was due to the fact that Nintendo was just desperate for any kind of...
that could ship a Wii U, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. Well,
We know how well that went, right?
coulda, woulda, shoulda, guys.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, lightning has mysteriously hit a number of places in this village, including the shed where the sheep were. You heard reggae music, man.
It in reggae
Ah, yes,
music,
Jamaica man. Yes, you got the lack of Jamaica, man.
Yes, man, come to Tasmania Village.
Ah, fuck.
So we got at least two new characters revealed
Fucking
for
ass
Bleach
boy.
Rebirth of Souls.
Hello? Hello?
Intruder alert.
Both of
Hey!
Hey.
Yo.
who joined.
It is I, Zero X.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't happen to be from Mega Man, do you?
Well,
It's like-
maybe.
It's like his avatar on this server is Gyu Tomioka, but Well,
Yeah.
not. But everywhere else, it's Black Zero from Mega Man
X Dive.
and X.
X Dive, yeah, because they did back when the game was going on, they did a Devil May Cry collab. Like they gave Zero and X the Virgil and Dante style costumes and even their sort of movesets.
I'm betting X was just like, why am I dressed in red? And
yeah.
and Zero just be like, hey, I don't know.
Because Capcom needs money somehow.
Yeah,
I
So
get
in case you're wondering what I'm playing, it is the one Earthbound game we never get over here.
Mother 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Got 500 credits somehow.
Speaking of Capcom trying to get
Money.
money, there was a time when they were actively shooting themselves in the foot on trying to do the opposite.
Well, you know, they still haven't put out that, there's a lot of things they haven't put out.
I know one game was like an Ace Attorney game that they didn't want to translate and put out to North America.
Oh yeah, that was Investigations. Investigations 1 did not come out in North America until the recent collection they put out.
Jesus
Which
Christ.
is a shame because it's a good game. Really good game.
Yeah.
Now we got a train station.
Then there was the Great Ace Attorney,
Mhm.
which it was like, fuck, we localized all the other ones so they take place in San Francisco. How do we change that? And it's like, well, could do what every other franchise that has stuff like that happen and just not explain it. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck you, this one takes place in Japan.
Mhm.
There was also a
Okay.
time where they were going to bring out Mega Man Universe and Legends 3 until they canceled them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember,
This is
Mega Man and Volna is still stuck on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and humanity is
Like
extinct.
how Guts was stuck on that boat.
And then,
Meanwhile, yeah.
okay, Alex, here's the thing: Guts was stuck on the boat. He got off of the boat. Then he remained on Elfheim for a while. Then he got back on the boat, and the journey was off screen until they ended up being in the until Guts ended up being in the slammer by what's his face of the Kushans? Salat. Salat's like, Guts is too dangerous. He needs to be detained immediately. What?
Mhm.
Okay then.
Uh-huh.
Hey, douchebag, you want another round of an ass whooping?
So, Spider-Man 2 launched for PC recently. Turns out the game's not just horribly optimized on PS5, it's also horribly optimized for PC as well, and people with a GTX 50, well, RTX now, with an RTX 5090 are having a hard time running the game on maximum settings, even though it still
Ouch.
looks like crap. That'll teach people to pre-order Sony games on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would have thought that the Last of Us port would have done that.
Oh, god damn it. OBS disconnected, now it's reconnected.
Oh dear.
Oh boy, technical issues.
Would
And-
be the crew stream.
Yeah.
It all comes back to Capcom, especially with their bad
Aw.
track record of fighting games. Looking at you, Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
What says
Street Fighter
cool.
5.
Oh, wait.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Well, Infinite was the biggest blunt, the one that broke the camel's back for me.
Yeah.
Even, I would recommend a video from Stumblebee where he basically kind of talks about like what kind of went wrong, and he summarizes it pretty well.
I would trust Magnet Muscles with anything, but unfortunately, he decided to be a freedom-hating douchebag.
Yeah, I've seen the tweets from him back in 2018. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Matt McMuscles is still he's still got some decent knowledge about the fighting game.
Yeah.
So he keeps
And
getting
when I
invited on
ended up-
stuff, and he does still
when I
have
ended
good
up
stuff to say about.
And when I ended up getting on Scott Fergus's case for him being like, Trunks' aesthetic in BoJack Unbound looks so cool, and I'm like, now if only you abridged it.
Mm-hmm.
And then his brigade of simps were, including Matt McMuscles, got on my case, and I'm like, Matt, weren't you the guy who told people that supported Vic to unfollow you like a man-child?
Like a long time ago.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot.
Oh yeah, did you see that Mars Girl privated again?
Oh, what a stupid cow.
Yeah,
You know,
It's her what? Her Blue Sky or her Twitter?
I
Yes.
don't even remember, but she's gone off the thing again.
Social
And
media.
She posted about something where she was like, oh, I'm going off to do some thing. I don't even remember what it was. And people were like, hang on, didn't you say that you were like hard up for money? Why are you going to this concert if you're hard up for money? And stuff like that.
Yeah, she grifted the audience again.
Yep.
To the surprise of no human being.
Yeah.
And I've watched
She was
one of
getting-
those videos,
she was getting
but I am
caught up
not
on-
watching that 11-hour piece of crap. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, fuck no.
Nope, I have no time for that. I gotta catch up on other animes I need to watch through.
I'd rather watch
I would-
speed runs.
I wouldn't even watch it for 1 second.
I have 200 episodes of EFAP to listen to.
But yeah.
I'd rather spend 12 hours watching paint dry.
I
I'd
rather
rather
God
get
dang
to
it.
games I haven't finished yet, or even shows I haven't finished yet.
Man.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, I'd be practicing King of Fighters on one of my new modded fight sticks that I just recently finally
Everybody only
completed.
wants this egg so they can take it apart for science. Of
Actually,
course they want to
yeah.
take it apart for science. Immortality is a hell of a drug.
Of course! Actually, yeah, let me put this in the broadcast chat, so... a while.
Oh, so you want your sister to live forever. Can we, like... Hey, can we, like... You know what we could...
Alright.
We could probably, like, give your sister some of the egg, and then take
There
the
we go.
rest of the egg off, or maybe we could clone it. Or maybe I could use the Star Trek time travel thing to go back in time and duplicate them.
Or maybe, Alex, maybe we just kill them.
Well, you know, that's not a bad idea.
I'm joking, obviously.
Yeah, alright. It is in the broadcast chat.
Some people will be like, murder isn't the best solution. I'm like, tell that to anybody who's played Resident Evil. Well, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey, that entirely depends on the context.
Because let's just say that, let's just say you are
If we're dealing with
perfectly...
zombie presidents, it absolutely is an option. The best option.
He's dealing with... If he's dealing with a bunch of cannibals who have a case of the munchies...
By the way...
then yes, that is also an option, since that's self-defense and not actually murder.
Has anybody here heard of Cannibal the Musical?
No.
No.
I know you haven't, Kevin. You didn't hear about it the last time I asked you. It's a early film from the South Park guys. Came out on Blu-ray recently.
Of course it did. They'll release anything on Blu-ray these days, except for the 2003 Clone Wars animated series, which features biblically accurate Force Force usage from Jedi Masters like Mace Windu.
And biblically accurate General Grievous.
Yes, not that bitch from the 2008 Clone Wars show.
There's a 500 credit shit from here.
And
Why is there 500 credits just laying on the floor,
Look,
guys?
I love Matthew Wood's voice as Grievous, but come on. At least it was justified how he got bitched out by Obi-Wan, since that's taking place after he got his chest crushed.
Yeah, I was going to say
by Windu.
That's literally hours later. And
So uncivilized.
there's no explanation as to why he's coughing.
wow. Excellent.
And meanwhile, in the 03 Clone Wars series,
You
he's in
literally see
Grievous
Windu shatter his chest.
yes, and keep in mind, in the novels, Grievous bitched out Windu to the point where Windu was like, I've fought some tough sons of bitches in my lifetime. I ain't fighting that motherfucker ever again.
Cute. Oh, now that I look back, I remember I met with Matt McMuscles and Wooly back when they were still friends before they branched off to do their own thing. This was like back in 2018.
Matt Mundane.
No,
Matt McMuscles, not Mundane Matt.
No, but
Monday, be there or be square.
Nobody wants to admit to meeting Mundane Matt.
no.
Yeah. God, he turned into a fucking sellout
Yeah.
and a douchebag.
Oh, the same I could say for Maximilian, dude.
Sellouts are shitty.
Yeah.
It really is a shame because Maximilian dude who was just like,
Dude. And the crazy thing is that dude got so ass mad over someone who was very knowledgeable about Dead or Alive, and dude just straight up blocked him.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
yeah.
Trade unit to a trading post in the Jazz sector.
Got some beef jerky.
Like, not only that, people even called him out for not understanding SNK stuff. Like, the only things he liked out of it was like Terry Bogard, Rock, and like Geese Howard, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of beef jerky, I'm eating some right now.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
what we use to get through our Young Justice stuff with jerky.
Yeah.
It's telling us to wait. Mr. T.
What? Mr. T? Named man. T-Man?
By the way, rest in peace to the original voice of He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rip.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, the guy was very secluded. Like, from what I heard.
Yeah. So now we're fighting mushrooms.
Oh, this item that appeared in Smash Ultimate.
Boing.
There she blows.
I hear it's like they're doing purposefully doing a samba.
It's like dancing to the rhythm.
You gotta dance like you want to win.
Yeah. Wait.
I mean, that's how Shinji, Asuka, Robin, and Slade had to get by.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they
Anybody's-
think it's called Slytherin.
So they're hen.
A snake with a chicken's head.
Ow. Ah. Get him, Boney. The cutest puppy ever.
Yeah.
I got another mushroom.
But I guess to
there's
end it
never-
off, yeah. Go ahead.
So there's never a point in this game where Lucas and Boney will end up going on a drug trip.
Jesus. That background is looks like a straight up acid trip.
Let's be frank here. The Mother series, by its own accord, is of one big fucking acid trip.
Thank you, Shigesato Itoi.
Who, by the way, ended up voicing in a Hayao Miyazaki movie.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
He was the father in My Neighbor Totoro,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, in the Disney dub of that, he was voiced by Tim Daly,
Hey,
Huh.
the Superman.
Oh, Superman.
while also looking like Clark Kent in that movie. I wish I was kidding.
Mm.
Dude looks like a Japanese Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to steal your biscuits. It's the least you can do for me, saving you from certain death.
So anyway, the two new characters in Bleach Rebirth of Souls that were announced consist of Ikaku Madarame
Mm-hmm.
and Noitora Gilga.
Oh.
Ikaku Madarame being a member of being third seed of Squad 11. And a very lucky man.
Mm-hmm.
The baldest motherfucker on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Alex, he's not bald, he just has a shaved head. You should know better.
That's the same as being... That's being bald by choice.
Yeah, but Ikaku is very insistent that he just has a shaved head.
Just from pointing out the fact that he's bald, that sounds like a very comical discussion that would happen in the anime.
Sounds like,
It
it
is.
sounds like Edward Elric's constant. And who are you calling short?
He's voiced by the same person in
I
the
know,
original dub.
I know, that's why I pointed that out.
Shorty, can a shorty do this?
My mom was honestly surprised that when we watched Bleach and we saw Ikaku, she was like, "That's Vic."
Yeah, it's a very different kind of voice for him.
Yeah.
Except some people think it isn't.
I mean, when you know an actor's voice well enough, you can, or a person's voice well enough, you can pick him out a mile off. But that's...
Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen to him as Guilmon and Digimon, and then you'll just be like, "That's Steve Bloom."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that
Or,
was a surprise.
Hell, who was the character he voiced in fucking, Gurren Lagann? That's...
Liron?
Yeah, that's not a Steve Bloom type role, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's even more amusing because Liron in Japanese is voiced by Masaya Onosaka. It was the original Jadeite in Sailor Moon.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whom in English is voiced by Todd Haberkorn.
Yep. Yeah,
Come on,
I
where's the derelict?
still remember. Oh my god, I can't believe it's been almost like a decade now when Viz announced we're gonna redub Sailor Moon. I was like head over heaven over that. Like, I was so excited.
Todd has an amazing voice as Jadeite.
Yeah. But I think the cutest castings that caught me off guard was, I think, Michelle Ruff and Johnny Young Bush as Artemis and Luna.
Yeah.
Let's see the other way. I think there was like, I was so heavy into that. I think
and you know,
I have
well, I
3
believe
boxes of Sailor Moon pastel crayons.
I believe the
Don't ask me how I got them.
Oh dear, somebody's
kid.
Bodhi, why did you have to point out that somebody's clothes were just strewn about? Come on, be better. All right, let's go investigate.
You gotta do better, Senator. Did you see that Sam's not even on the Super Soldier Juice?
You don't seem all that unsettled. All that a child caught you in a state of undress.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, in the new Captain America trailer, Sam says, "Man, I should have taken that serum." It's like, why? Why didn't you take that serum?
Yeah, why indeed?
I'm taking that.
Unless it was the Stark serum.
I'm taking that fucking serum. If you can give me Captain America powers, right? I'm taking that fucking serum.
Oh my god!
Chris Hansen, where are you right now? We need you.
God damn.
And like, I'd just do that to have, like, you know, be a little bit better in my everyday life. I wouldn't even...
Oh, come on, it got disconnected again.
I wouldn't even need to, That's weird, because you're talking to us, and I'm connected to YouTube. How does this keep happening? This happened to me last week.
Yep. Well, okay, I get the impression that Ionia actually just dunked Lucas underwater. Or just for a while.
Like he was trying to give Lucas a baptism.
Okay, we better leave him. So now we have PSI powers. So we have healing, in curing status ailments, and a damage all enemies attack.
Half a 2. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go through the Taffa Prime asteroid field anyway, so I might as well stop off at Taffa Prime and get that done before I go on to the side quest.
Okay, now I need to actually go back to Tesmily.
Come on. Find me that derelict. It's a stress signal, whatever. I'll go get it.
Boom, shaky lakey. How do you like me now?
So the Grammys were last night. Does anybody care?
No.
Fuck no.
Couldn't give a damn.
They're about as important as the Oscars.
I'm gonna say what Eminem did. Fuck the Grammys. Beyonce won Best Country Album. I don't really understand that. Apparently they only administered 8 awards during the actual show, and everything else was was done, like, off-screen. Why?
Just nuts.
Why would you do something like that?
Absolutely insane.
People watch the award show to see the awards be presented.
They must have not had enough money in the budget.
And
the biggest circle jerk in Hollywood.
No, that would be the Oscars. This was the Grammys, and the Grammys... So, apparently the Beatles won a Grammy. for the new song that was based on an old demo, which is really cool because they salvaged John Lennon's voice from an old recording.
Yeah.
Actually, really neat the way they managed to pull that off.
Still one of my favorite bits from Family Guy where Brian just scares Stewie with the Beatles album, Queens of the World.
The news of the world.
Here's $50. And then the lottery ticket. It's like, thanks for letting me be Yoda. Yep.
By the way, y'all tuned into the Real Game Awards?
Yeah, I think
did not.
so.
I did not.
No.
I saw a lot of people bitching that the Angry Video Game Nerd made an appearance.
I saw that.
I also saw the developer of, what was it, Bloodborne Kart was bitching about being given an award.
Yeah, Nightmare Card.
Nightmare Kart. And Stuttering Craig was like, okay, we gave you this award because we thought your game was good. Can you shut the fuck up now?
And then there's the Sulaco dev.
Yeah, Craig's had his issues over the years, you know. Oh, but hey, credit where it's due. The man was, you know, standing up for saying, is like, hey, we're not gonna rescind this award just because you bitched about it. And we thought your game was good. We don't care that you're trans or whatever.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'd rather watch the Real Game Awards over the
Yeah,
one in December.
I don't want to attend
But,
mass as directed by the Doritos Pope.
Yeah, I saw the meme where like Multiverses is gonna shut down. It's like, and yet a few months back it was given the Game Award of the Year. I'm like, yeah, about that. I think.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, King of Fighters 15 would like an apology. I shall send it right now.
Game of the Year, and then Game of the Year, and that it only lasts a year.
Yet it got snubbed over KOF 15 and whatever they had available.
See here, 5X Iridium Core. I need to see what upgrades are available.
Oh man. Part of me just had mood whiplash realizing King of Fighters turned 30 last year. I'm like, oh my god.
Damn.
Anybody feel old yet?
A little bit.
I am, because I'm older than King of Fighters.
1994.
King of Fighters came out the same year I was born.
Yeah.
I was born in 92. In fact, my birthday is next month.
Happy birthday.
Which is
It's actually the release. It's actually the release date of the Bleach game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Which, by the way, the other character that was revealed was Noitora Gilga, the Quinta Espada, whom is a salty, and I do stress salty, motherfucker, who couldn't stand the fact that Neliel was just that much better than him.
So basically, he's a salt mine.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh.
Good to know.
Oh my.
So yeah,
Boom,
King of Fighters
shakalaka.
is celebrating its 30th anniversary.
Well, now that I look back at the history of the series, it's like, I feel like SNK kind of doomed themselves when they put 94 on it, and they pretty much committed to releasing a KOF game on a yearly basis.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Trench coat.
And
Also,
tomorrow is
Intruder
tomorrow's my older
from
sister's
Blade Runner.
birthday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday
Hey,
to her.
Gizmo.
Hey,
Hey, Gizmo.
Gizmo.
I've got a black trench coat and a white outfit on underneath.
Oh, by the way, Gizmo.
I'm like
earlier,
Slasher
or
Andrew WK. Like,
So Gizmo, we were talking about Bleach Rebirth of Souls briefly with both of its new trailers, which featured Ikaku Madarame and Noritora Gilga. So we finally got another Orang car in the game. And so Noitora's weapon is like a gigantic double
That's really
crescent
disappointing.
moon blade.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I saw those trailers.
So which one intrigued you more?
Neither.
Could possibly be secretly writing a novel.
Well, no, that's a lie. Ikaku, I
No.
guess.
Oh, there's no Chloe. Chloe was all a ruse. Stricken
Ouch.
relative package number 4. Oh, it's funny that I put on the fucking Blade Runner jacket when
And Boney,
we're getting a
he
Blade
went up a
Runner
level?
reference.
Hey, what a coincidence!
I was added to the memory package in the most recent update.
Ah! Ionia
I
left.
made an egg out of fiberglass
Where'd
and
they
planted it near
go?
the giant purple egg in the center of the galaxy. So we've been traipsing all over the quadrant just for a stupid test.
Riveting.
It'll be quite a while before you can try for middle management again. Why would anybody want to try out for middle management? Transfer to a mega level field support. Oh dear!
What else was talked
No,
about?
no, I don't want this. I don't want this.
We were
bitch.
talking about the fact that Multiverses was apparently garnered Game of the Year award, but
It
last
got
year-
snubbed by
Yeah,
King of
last
Fighters
year-
15 and others.
Last year, Multiverses was given Game of the Year, and that must have just been because it was a game that would last a year. Excuse me, because it's done.
It shouldn't have to be, though.
Yeah,
No,
it
you
didn't
can
have
still
to
play
be,
it
but-
offline, but like, eh.
Nah, but dude, have your how much have we talked about multiverses already?
Not much.
yeah.
Well, I got a lot to say about it because apparently apparently the head of the project was at fault for everything that happened, from gameplay being slower to the in-game shop being horrendous to even the grind of having to unlock characters. Because you're familiar with unlocking characters, right? You do a
Yep.
certain amount of tasks, you do something over and over again for a certain amount of time, and then boom,
Yeah, you do a
Boom,
thing,
you
you get a
you got
thing.
your character, right? Like say Melee, if you yeah,
Yeah.
like say Melee, for example. We're all familiar with how you unlock Mewtwo or Falco. You have to, play a certain character at a certain
Or a
difficulty,
good
or
game
play.
like Brawl.
And
Notice
So
the
here were
silence
the-
when you said that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But for real though, we're all aware of how
Yeah, you
how
perform
normal
a
it is.
task, you get a new thing.
yeah. So here were the best fighting game nominees. There was Tekken 8, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Fighting Collection, and Multiverses.
Sure, yeah, clean up. Find a place.
Those were the ones.
So here's the
Linda-
reason I bring this up. The reason why I bring up specifically the character unlocks is
But
you
I
don't
just want to
unlock.
bring up something here. I just told my new assistant to clean the toilets. We don't have any toilets on board this ship.
Yeah.
So she's going to be searching high and low for our non-existent toilets.
Oh no!
Wait a minute. Is the
What?
game you're playing in the universe of Demolition Man or something?
No, we're far
No,
in the future.
'cause-
Demolition Man.
No, because here's the thing: Demolition Man actually has toilets.
Demolition Man
Yeah.
was a documentary.
You still gotta use the 3 seashells.
Yep. I think Sandra Bullock is still being asked to this day what the fuck the 3 seashells mean.
Yeah,
if I
she
was
and
her,
Stallone
I'd
are always
say-
asked how to do the 3 seashells.
Yeah, if I was her, I'd say, ask the writer, because I don't fucking know.
It's sort of like this, like how people are still saying they can't see John Cena. But there's a reason why I bring up the character unlocks. So, like we've literally just said how familiar we are with unlocking characters through tasks and stuff like that, in-game
That's the kind of
tasks.
thing where you'd have to be living under a fucking rock to not know how that works, you know?
Well, the thing is,
In multiverses, it doesn't work that way exactly. So,
Oh, here
so
comes
you-
a train.
So you'd have to be a game executive.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
what happens is that every time you fight, you get like a certain amount of in-game cash, which is fine. So that gives you like
So it works kind of like it does in Fortnite then.
fuck to the no. In-game cash. I'm not talking like Robux or whatever the fuck. You have to buy cash to use cash.
Well, you can you can earn cash.
Why would you compare a good game to a game that's overly normie?
Oh dear, I'm feeling feverish.
Good. Okay, but
Speed.
the reason why I bring it up is because the more characters you unlock, the more they cost. At first, it doesn't sound that bad. Like, say, a character costs 50 coins. Okay, I'll just fight a couple matches there. Bought it. Now the characters cost 100. Okay, I'll just fight a little more longer than that. Okay,
So
I bought the
it's
character for 100
Star
coins.
Wars
Then
Battlefront.
it's 200. Then it's 500. Then it's 1,000. It gets tedious.
Basically
The
want
Adventures of
you to
Think Smallwood.
they basically want you to fight. They basically want you to essentially use real world currency.
Yeah, they want you to either waste your life or waste your money.
Damn.
I'd rather waste my life, but if it's to the point where I think it's too much and I feel like I have to use real money, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quit.
Oh, and they revealed that the last two characters are going to be Aquaman and Lola Bunny.
Oh,
Why?
Lame, fucking lame.
Is it at least the cool Aquaman?
Keep in mind,
Sadly-
keep in mind, we've gotten Smith before Neo. We've gotten the Powerpuff Girls, but no Mojo Jojo. We've gotten a Dexter's Laboratory stage, but no Dexter, Mandark, or Dee Dee. We've gotten a reference to the Animaniacs with neither of the brothers or the sisters.
Yakko,
or
and Minnie.
Dot.
No.
I'm Captain
Oh,
Real
Dot.
Name.
The Dot. It's literally the
Dot. Oh, right. I'm just like, okay. Right, you're
reference
right,
to
you're
the Dot. WB.
So the only Teen Titan
You know what? No, that's
in-
clever, actually.
So the only Teen Titan that's in this game
Oh my
was
god.
Raven.
It's
No,
Hulk.
That's right. And she's
no,
my main
that's
in that
understandable.
game.
That's understandable. That's what more understandable as to why there's only one, because Raven is not a Teen Titans character. She's a DC character that's in the team of Teen Titans that's also owned by DC Comics, and DC Comics aren't owned by Warner Brothers. But you know, despite that's just
Please try not to-
that's just to pick it. That's grasping at straws, though. But there's a lot of other characters that are under the Warner Brothers name they could use. They could have used a lot of other characters, and again, they could have added some before others. Like, okay,
Your
cool,
ship
we
is
got
a giant
Jason,
skip with
we got
engines.
Batman, we got Joker, but again, you have a stage of Dexter, but no Dexter, Mandark, Dee Dee.
I mean, there was a Dead or Alive game
You
that
gave us Rick
had,
and Morty, cool, with the Rick and Morty
yeah.
stage. But
There was
You
a Dead or
gave
Alive
us-
game that
there's no Scooby Doo.
Hold on.
You
were saying, Cap?
no
All of a
Scooby Doo.
sudden,
You gave us Velma and Shaggy. How did we get?
all of a
You gave
sudden,
us-
Adventures in the Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment.
You gave us Velma and Shaggy, but no Scooby Doo. That's the most confusing part. You gave us LeBron, but no Michael Jordan.
Well, LeBron is a tie-in to the new movie.
Right.
Why
but
does anybody want LeBron James?
that tie into, but
This
that
is
new
shit.
movie is a sequel to the original.
I refuse.
This is shit.
I'd rather watch the original Space Jam. Thank you.
Like
They're
people,
both-
Listen,
To
people,
They're
quote
both-
mess, what's the point of Space Jam if there's no jam?
In my opinion, they're both equally as funny for. They're both equally as funny for different reasons, but like that's another topic entirely. That's a different topic entirely. Dude, I'm
Thank
just
you,
saying there's a
Paul.
lot. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that could have fixed, things that could have added before others. You know, characters, stages, features. But they just
hijacked
refuse
by
to
some
do. And
scary
dude,
eyebrows.
this is a game. This is a game that currently at the highest peak is 500 players online.
Ouch.
That's not bad, but at the same time, it's a free-to-play game. It shouldn't have the lowest shouldn't be 500. It should be at the lowest 2,000, 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
At the very lowest. If it's 500 and it's a free-to-play game, that spells trouble to me. And these are licensed characters too.
Yeah.
Module.
It's just the amount of budget it would take to just the amount of money to shell out to use those characters.
No, but it shouldn't have to. They own the characters. Warner Brothers owns all of these characters as well as versions of said characters. They own the Teen Titans version. They own the Teen Titans cartoon version of Raven.
Yeah.
As well as other characters. They own Powerpuff Girls. They own Hanna-Barbera. They own Samurai Jack. You're telling me that 2 characters is like the limit they have for every announcement? You gave us 2 DC superheroes, 2 of the most iconic ones, and the third one is going to be Aquaman?
It's like
3. Well, correction, 3. Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. 4th is Aquaman. We all know it's either going to be, I don't care if it's either Super Friends Aquaman or Jason Momoa Aquaman. Either one is going to be disappointing because it's not because her Aquaman, her water. No, it's because of the fact that you could have gotten anyone else to give us.
Gandalf, Harry Potter.
Gandalf, Harry Potter. You could have given us a fucking like Yogi Bear. I don't care. Like you could have given us 4 characters each revealed. That would have at least made sense. These are 2?
And meanwhile, the only fighting game representation for Beast Boy is the
These are Smash Brother-esque characters. I feel like these are easier to program for than, say, like a 2D or a 3DS character, like something from Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Virtual Fighter. I feel like Smash Brothers, like anything, is easier to program for.
By the way, Gizmo, would you like me to tell you about one of the only representation in the Beast Boy in fighting games is?
What?
It's the Injustice 2 mobile game where he has the lamest fucking moveset imaginable. Like, holy hell! What did they do to my boy?
I didn't know we went one from Injustice from Multiverses, but
well, that's because they're owned by the same company, so. Oh, I thought it was somewhat tangentially related. Plus, they're both fighting games.
Yeah, a mobile game does not compare to a platform fighter.
Yeah,
I'd say,
you know what they really should have had more characters, because like this is one of those games where it's like it's decent enough in terms of what it is, but you just don't have the staying power. And speaking of not having the staying power, Overwatch.
Yeah.
Fuck Overwatch.
Was carried by porn.
Yeah.
Right now, fuck Overwatch because of fuck Blizzard, the way they're treating their customers and their fucking fans. What are you doing? You're your own reason why people switch from there to fucking Paladins and Marvel Rivals at this point. Shut your ass up, Blizzard.
Marvel Rivals gives us extra thick
1
woman
to 2 characters a year. A year. Multiverses got like at least 1 more above that, along with a stage.
Dude. And the females actually look beautiful, dare I say. in Marvel Rivals.
I mean, Overwatch has got a few Overwatch has got a few characters, but they don't look as good as their first models or their models.
They don't look as good as Sue Storm does.
Sue Storm isn't even that kind of a character, and yet she looks better than, say, fucking half of the newer female roster in Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
They got Sue Storm out here looking like Mrs. Incredible.
Ambiguous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And our boy.
I'm sorry, ambiguous characters in Overwatch 2. Oh, it's a they them, and I do not care.
I do not give a shit.
My pronouns are fuck off.
Yeah, your gender pronouns go fuck yourself.
Oh wait. Oh wait, I think I got something. Hold
My
on.
pronouns are suck dick. Shut up, fucking Blizzard.
I got one. My pronouns are.
My pronouns are free Taiwan.
Oh,
My pronouns are asshole.
My pronouns are Tiananmen Square.
so you're part of the lyrics to Tenacious D's Karate.
Oh, you guys saw that where they did the happy birthday bit? It's like make a wish.
Don't
I'm
miss
like-
Trump next time. No, don't miss your meds next time.
I'm like, excuse me? Boy, you just asked yourself to get your ass canned at that
I'm
point.
surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, he went up a
Jack
level?
Black didn't get pissed.
Jack Black
Oh,
did get
jeez.
pissed. He broke up the band over that.
Did he legitly? I thought it was just like a
Dude.
temporary break.
No, they canceled the tour. The band Tenacious D is done.
Oof.
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
saw Kyle.
And it took him opening his mouth about the president.
It was like you could see
Yep.
on stage, like Jack is like,
It's like, seriously?
what the fuck, Kyle?
He's like,
And
dude,
then-
time and place. What the fuck are you doing?
Dude, this is not the time and place to do this,
If
man.
Jack Black is the fun uncle that you love to have over, his partner is the friend of the uncle you only tolerate because he's the one with the car.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sounds about right.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Kyle's,
figured
got-
this one.
Kyle's the guy who owns the tour bus.
Yeah, you know what ain't right? The multiverse is having to shut down after 1 year. Fucking Christ, I'm still not over. I'm still not over that. I'm sorry. It's just they could have made so many good decisions,
No,
but they
Yeah,
didn't.
I'm not happy about multiverses shutting down either.
I don't even care that they play slightly different than
Right?
Smash. Like, okay, yeah, they tire
know,
after dodging too much. That's kind of genius, so people won't have to spam it.
Hulk, can you like give me the
Yeah.
comlink signal frequency for the elaborate gesture so that we could get you off my fucking ship?
Yeah.
There's
Here's the
something there you
game-
wouldn't
well-
understand. I played your game.
Sorry.
Here's the other thing too. I'm seeing people like making like mods for the thing, so now they're trying to add in Optimus Prime and what was it, the Radio Demon from Hell of a Boss in Transformers? No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Hazbin Hotel in Transformers.
Invisible Gun.
Mhm.
That's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference.
The door
Oh,
hurt me,
you can
Joey!
You can accept that I'm invisible, but not my gun. What are you, racist?
You know, if they, you know what, someone pulled off of Skullgirls, and let's say some other company came in, bought the rights off of multiverses, and decided to say, you know what, I want this to continue.
Hmm.
If someone else were to come in and buy the rights to multiverses, and if Warner Brothers says yes,
Oh, they'd have to file off the serial numbers.
I don't fucking care how long it takes. It could take me it'd take a whole goddamn 5 years. And just give it to someone who cares and knows
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
what they're doing.
By the way,
And
do
then
not
we won't have-
fight those things with only Lucas and Boney.
And then we won't have to have like half of a character cast that we kind of wanted as our last characters.
Wanted everything.
Like, dude, you know how many characters people wanted to see in multiverses. People wanted Lola Bunny. People wanted more than just 3 DC characters that weren't, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. We already knew Harley.
There's like free money on the plate,
Comes
Warner
from the industries
Brothers.
everywhere.
You might as well
You know-
take advantage of that. But nope.
I legit thought they were gonna add in, more items too, because everything just felt too.
Well, we gotta go work at the factory.
Like, think about it like this: if they could have, if I said, I already said it once, if I said it once, I said it again. They needed to have themed items for Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, and not just generic boxing glove.
Or the game's equivalent to
Catching
the red and
it,
green shells.
boost arrows. Yeah, at least something like that. Like,
It's like add some
like maybe-
variety to spice
like
it up.
maybe the item boxes are like these like little caps, like the little TVs from like Sonic,
Yeah.
Maybe there's some items like the Bonanza Brothers blasters,
Mhm.
or like Puyo Puyo ships that you can like throw, and they're like blue shells. Something like that.
Mhm.
Like same thing should have happened in Multiverses. Okay, you got a batarang. Okay, but that's only when Batman misses his throw. You got a pie. Okay, that's it. No items. This is This is supposed to be a platform fighter. Give me
That was
Mr.
what-
Freeze. Give me
reminds-
Mr. Freeze's gun, man. Give
Oh,
me
yeah.
Give me Mr.
You know what
Freeze's gun. Give me like Michael Jordan's like sneakers or something like that.
Super
They
speed.
got Jordans in Fortnite.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Dude, I'll even take the One Ring. Like, you know how there's like an invisibility cloaking device in Melee. There
Yeah.
should have been like there should have been like something akin to that. Like with the one, you get the One Ring in the game, you become invisible temporarily, sort of like that.
Yeah, that
You know,
would be cool.
Or like
Yeah.
if you pick up the metal box, you don't get knocked out as easily.
Right? Or like maybe like they could have had summonings. Like if you're not gonna have DD as a playable character, have her as a summoning. Like it'd be kind of funny because it makes sense considering DD's always wrecking shit that don't belong to her.
Oh,
Picking
like
up like
assist
robotic,
Oh, like assist trophies, yeah.
picking
I
up
see what you
robotic
mean.
pillars and stuff and throwing them on the ground. Maybe that could be like her thing. She picks you up and just throws you. The fact that she's alive, I feel like she's got some brain damage if she thinks it's okay to wreck stuff like that advanced.
Yeah, and she's not DW age either.
Yeah.
She's the older one too. Jesus Christ!
I love how everybody looks back on that episode of Arthur and is like, yeah, Arthur was definitely justified.
No, it's like DW and DD are like in the same tier of like I don't like you and why are you here?
Yeah.
Moving on from Multiverses, because if we keep talking, I'm just going to be here all day talking about characters and stages they could have had.
Yeah.
That's all good.
And items and modes and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise I'm just gonna make a tier list of characters that should have, could have, would have, but didn't get in the Multiverses.
Meanwhile, Beast Boy did at least get into one popular free-to-play game.
It's
He was in Fortnite, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, popular.
The
You
overrated
can't-
game.
It can't be normie and not be popular.
It can be, but it can be normie and be shit compared to other shooters that came out after and before.
Yeah. I'm not
You can
disagreeing
play
with that.
You can play as Spider-Man with a gat.
Yeah.
Fuck off then.
I summoned Spider-Man with a gat.
I summon Spider-Man in attack mode. I give him the BFG.
Wow, one of my favorite fan arts was like Goku and Vegeta holding weapons. Goku's like, hey, use this thing, and Vegeta's like, not now, Kakarot, I'm in the middle of something.
And Invincible with the gun made more sense because I at least know he actually used the damn thing when he came back through
Remember
that
that
portal.
one time when Peter went into Fortnite?
Fuck
They
off.
made him buff as fuck.
That was hilarious.
He makes sense. He's done some crazy shit. You put characters like Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson and like Ripley and Indiana Jones. They make sense.
Homer Simpson should have been in Fortnite.
Fired a fucking gun before. Oh yeah, Silent Rob deleted his channel.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that guy.
Wait, what?
Silent Rob?
Yeah,
Explain.
Silent Rob. So okay, so for those who are just listening in or just forgot and didn't care, Silent Rob is a legacy YouTuber who's been around almost since the beginning of its heyday, making videos about video games, current events, that kind of thing, but mostly about video games. He had stuff And stuff in his life that happened that became infamous, like the Action 52 review, part 1 and 2, his video with Roach, his
What
Brony
was the
rant.
Action 52 review? Remind me of that.
It was just him playing the game and showing you how shitty it is, and
So what was the problem with that?
the origin of "I trusted you" game. No, it's not got nothing to do with that. I'm just saying that's one of the things he's famous for.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on. He got off the internet for a while, but then he came back, and then a little more of a hiatus, but then came back for good this time, after the whole YouTube gang streaming services was a thing. You know, the very beginning of that. So
Then
recently, as a few months ago? Recently, as a few months ago, it's been revealed that he was actually on Fent. He had a drug problem. He and his wife had a drug problem. He was trying to get off of it. He was lucky to actually get off of Fent cold turkey by himself, to the point where even the doctors say he's lucky, because there's almost nobody can go cold turkey just like that. Apparently he's off the Fent. Nobody believes him, but that's here nor there. After a while, though, because he's been absent for a bit. I get not a hiatus absent, but just absent for a bit, because people were wondering what happened. He started doing $8 memberships. Now, that's fine, except for the fact that he locked most of his legacy content behind the $8 memberships, as well as a few recent stuff. And just to give you the idea of legacy stuff that he hid behind the paywall, he hid Brony rants. He hid the Brony rant, What Is Cool, the GameStop rant, his PS2, PS1 handheld collection, as well as a few recent streams behind the $8 paywall. Now, it's fine if you want to hide, let's say, some exclusive streams behind $8 memberships, but he doesn't even do that. What he did, I was there for this. There was a time when he was just doing a free stream, just outright anybody can come in and look, and only people with a membership can comment. 10 people in total were commenting.
Yeah.
And though in the middle of the stream, he turns it into membership only.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm like,
kind of a dick move.
It is a dick move, and people were trying to point out, you can't just make everything membership. There's steps to this. You have to do this and that if you want to make sense. No, I wasn't the only one that tried to tell him good advice on how to handle this. We even told him other stuff that he could have tried to grow his brand, grow his channel. Get extra cash, like say emotes. Extra emotes for if you want to be on his membership. Stuff that's based off of like his content, like say. He had a character called Fucked Up Lines that was just basically based off of a bunch of lines that were just fucked up in the house he was renting at the time, and so people were asking, why don't you just make an emote of like fucked up blinds or different shirt guy, liberal Rob, different shirt guy number 2. He didn't listen.
Basically,
Why
he
don't
was
you make
going
some merch based off of your. Based off of your, the stuff that you do in your videos. Like, for example, again, Liberal Rob, he had half of his face was covered in makeup. The other side wasn't, because Liberal Rob, I'm he, she, he did that shit. Maybe like a dead pony to like as a way to like humor people that don't like My Little Pony, something like that. Emotes, shirts, merch, that kind of thing. Didn't listen. Yeah. We've been telling him we've been giving him free advice of how to grow.
Oh, fuck.
At least a little bit.
Not a whole lot here anyway.
Because you know how YouTube is when it comes to content makers like Silent Rob, Ace Salieri, Mudahar, that kind of thing.
Fucking anybody.
They like, yeah, like guys like that anyway, because these are not these are not Mr. Beast. These are not game theory. You know, guys like that, they will take advantage of the algorithm. While guys like Asa, Sound Rob, Muda, they'll just do whatever the fuck they want. You know, and not
guys like you and me, the people who the site is essentially built on the backs of the guys who are, you know, we're not out here trying to make ADHD the series.
So after a bit,
you're trying to make just, you know, good content.
Right. So, and here's the thing: the drama wasn't just on YouTube; it was also on Facebook. Because we even told him there, you know, the $8 membership was not a good idea because he was locking again most of his legacy content behind a paywall, as well as his recent stuff. He just would not listen. His wife kept on like deleting comments and banning people from the Facebook group that criticized him. So many ass slickers in there that were just kissing it until their noses were just goddamn deep brown. I mean, holy crap! Was it a shit show? No, pun intended.
They probably were shoving their heads up his ass.
It was to the point that even his most recent streams, he started deleting them when people started figuring out that what he was saying was either lies or just suspicious. Like, for example, he said that people that were like doxing him, they're okay. That's not good.
Oh,
but then he said that he got one of his fans to dox them back. And then the next stream after that, he says, people were coming to my house. There's like different pizza guys coming to my house. I got pizza calls. I'm like, oh, okay. So you'll accept one guy to dox that guy because he said something in a super chat, but God forbid, like, you get doxed.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Rob. They're the fucking double. He had like
double standards.
A shit ton of double standards. Like he had a bunch of sock accounts that were trying to put him in a better light on YouTube. Like, you know, saying, "Hey, you rock, Rob. You're great, Rob." A lot of these accounts were not active until now. You know, like saying good things about him.
Like that. You just don't
like
have
those
to do stuff like that.
Those dummy accounts for like started up in like 2017, from what I last heard.
Or as recent as, well, I think so. Some of them were in 2017, some were a little more recent, some were a little more older than that, but not too old. But yeah, they were just, people just figured there were stock accounts because they weren't active until that day. Like straight up, like no profile picture, no favorited videos, no commented videos, no liked videos, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So people figured out that these were stock accounts, and
you could be more obvious, could you?
Like Rob was also starting to make fun of Asa, and you know what? Whatever. You know, people are gonna Asa's gonna get made fun of. He's no stranger to that. You know, fat gay fat, ha ha ha. But then he started going after the wife and his kids. Keep in mind that one of the kids is
in the spectrum.
In the spectrum, yeah. Like if you ever watched a recent Asa stream and you hear a kid going, if you ever hear a kid going, like a high pitch, that's the kid, and that's the spectrum kid, and Rob's like making fun of like not even like a specific kid, just the kids in general, which means that he's also making fun of that kid. And he's not even like, the kids are loud. Not even like that. Like outright saying, you know, the kids, you know, they're. I don't want to repeat it. Okay. You have to. I don't want to. I really don't want to repeat it. But he even said stuff like Ace's wife is cheating on him, and Ace is like crying to Rob about it, and I'm like, dude, even if that was. Even if that is true, why are you setting out his dirty laundry like that? I said it in the stream too. Like I outright said, even if that stuff was true that Rob said about the wife cheating on Asa, it's not only is it none of our business. If it's not true, why are you just airing it out for everyone to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it is true.
Like, hey guys, did you know Asa's wife's cheating on him? Why? Why are you telling us this? Why? Because Asa didn't support you, or didn't know that you were on drugs, and didn't give you the money to buy more? I mean, fuck you, that's petty.
I think it was more in the context of he was just trying to show that he was supposedly his friend at the time.
Okay,
And-
but something like
and-
that you shouldn't
and he
be
was-
like spreading around.
Okay, true.
Like you like.
Because I was watching
Yeah, I
Silent
don't
Rob's
care if
video.
it's true or not. You shouldn't say that outright anyway.
Right. I was just saying that as someone who's seen Silent Rob's video actually airing that out, I think it was more so in the context of at a time he was describing, Aso and I were good friends and I was there for him, but now all of a sudden things are not good between us and so we're not friends. And
Yeah,
things like that.
The thing about that is that no one knew that Rob was doing badly in any way.
Yeah.
All these
No one knew
douchebags
that he
won't
was
let
doing
us
bad
in.
financially, and no one knew that he was on. Nobody knew that Rob was doing in any way bad financially, and nobody knew that he was on
Fentanyl.
drugs to begin with. Even when he gave bad excuse after excuse, even when there were signs of him using, most of us didn't even know. Like apparently there was like one stream where he says, "I got to go to the bathroom." He goes off screen, and then you hear like a little tapping on the counter, like someone was using a card or something. People.
Yeah, I remember
I didn't know.
when
I thought maybe he was just taking a dump and he was just like tapping something on a sink because he's impatient or something like that.
Yeah, and it
Okay,
wasn't
so
until
Our reaction to Sonic the Hedgehog has been blocked in Russia.
Of course it was.
So nowhere important.
So the one
let's
guy.
see, it's also blocked in Belarus, South Korea, and Japan, but we don't have many viewers in those territories, so...
If at all.
Yeah.
But, go a little further. Go a little further in the timeline. One of his streams showed that it showed him and Ani like in another stream just chilling, talking to his audience, and then he goes on this weird tantrum with his wife, and not even like a playful tantrum, where Ani's playing on a Switch right there next to him, and it looks like he moved his rig like next to the kitchen somewhere because you noticed that it's got a different camera angle and everything. And I don't know why I brought that up, but it's just something I noticed. And he says that Ani only plays Animal Crossing. He plays it all day, every day. And she was like, "Oh, I play other games." And he was like, "Yeah, but that's the only game you ever play. I've never seen anyone play Animal Crossing so much as you do." And he's going on a tirade of how he gets there, this many games to her, and she doesn't play any of them and only plays Animal Crossing in this giant-ass tirade. It's almost as if he was going to go into the, "Why didn't you get this? Are you ungrateful?" kind of thing. Almost kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He deleted that stream.
Yeah, of course he fucking would.
Didn't private it, didn't put it behind a paywall. He outright just deleted it. And then after that, there was another video they posted up where he said, "I'm going to keep the $8 memberships from here on out. There's no changing that, maybe."
Yep, that was a recent video.
Yeah, you saw that too. And he says something about like the ROM streams no longer being a thing, I think, because people kept on begging him for him to do it again. He said that he also said there was going to be a video of him making fun of Minute World and Ace Salieri, but mostly the one about making fun of Minute World, which is the reason why he was so pissed off. And after that, we're moving on to the subject at hand. Minute World made 3 videos in total. 2 of them were criticizing Rob because of the whole $8 thing, but also because
And there was also the AI song.
The AI songs. Yeah, they like
guys. Before you go on, the name of the band and in this club is called DCMC.
Okay.
Does that sound derivative of anything?
AC/DC.
No, it's the original band, Do Not Steal.
AC/DC.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Years ago, Rob said that autists were like the nicest people on earth, and he has no problem with them. Years later today, he says that Minute World is a spur, and he's a stupid autist or something along those lines because of his diction and the way he speaks, which should be irrelevant. And when Minute World made those 2 videos, bringing those up, almost right after, Silent Rob, I'm hearing, kicked out every single member of the FDU fan page on Facebook. And then he archived it. And then he sent he made one last post before deleting his entire YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the message right here. Let me see if I can get it.
Wait, Message World, who deleted their channel?
Well, Rob, like Silent Rob deleted his entire channel afterwards. Okay, here it is.
Wow.
So keep in mind the details are a little
I think
hazy.
that's how you spell vagaries, Yahtzee, but whatever.
But I'm being told that this was after he kicked everyone off of the FDU page, the Face Destroys United fan page, he calls it. He posts, for the better of 18 years, I put my nose to the grindstone, paid my dues, and made thousands of videos considered by many to funniest content out there. All the while, my channel got completely buried in the algorithm. As I was making what ultimately became my last video tonight against a notoriously racist tranny we constantly had huge issues with on FDU that people begged me to get rid of for over a year, and an autistic fucking retard who loved me to the point of wanting to fuck my butt 6 months ago, but now hates me, who sounds like he has a chocolate-covered dick for a tongue, openly attacking a child. I sat there and looked around wondering, why am I even bothering? Know what I saw?
Hang on.
When I looked around, I saw a bunch of damn backstabbers playing both sides like that muffin cake. Ooh, man. I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. Don't watch the film. Just watch Jay Longbone react to it. Watch the chat. I'm in there.
I have no
really
comment.
Let's just let Gizmo finish the story first.
As I was, I'm going to start over from this part. As I was making what ultimately became my last video tonight against a notoriously racist tranny, we constantly had huge issues with on FDU that people begged me to get rid of for over a year, and an autistic fucking retard who loved me to the point of wanting to fuck my butt 6 months ago, but now hates me, who sounds like he has a chocolate-covered dick for a tongue, openly attacking a child. I sat there and looked around wondering, why am I even bothering? You know, I could start over.
No, we got you.
Yeah.
Know what I saw when I looked around? I saw a bunch of damn backstabbers playing both sides like that muffin cakes bundle of sticks who spent 18 years pointing out random parts of my vids because tism, I guess, lol, being like derp 1532 Mr. Clean Bowl Guy mascot in 9,000 videos, but turns on a fucking dime. And also, I saw 46 people who bothered to pay the equivalent of a small value meal at McDonald's. When? 2010? Out of the almost 10 million who enjoyed my shit over 18 years. I sure as fuck didn't see anyone sticking up for me after I've stuck up for them for years or took time out of my life to talk to these guys down off the edge. I'm sitting around since 2007 begging for fucking crumbs, never getting one decent opportunity thrown my way in almost 2 decades. And whenever I did try to better my life, most of these fuckers spazzed out. You guys want to shit on Spoonie? Know why he's that way? Retard ass fuckers thinks that's why I feel for the man. I get it now. He's not wrong. Well, don't worry, because nobody has to ever deal with me again, both online and soon to be offline too, once I find a dealer with a bag.
Lol, LMAO.
I've been struggling and getting absolutely fucking nowhere with that page for years when I deserved way fucking more than what I was given. Well, I'm not begging for crumbs anymore. I fucking tell people that I've been dealing with just a part of it, and then they throw it in my face and use it against me as a negative because I'm not playing ROMs for the 5 millionth time. I've been contemplating killing myself for a while, and those thoughts started creeping into my head yearly, then monthly, then weekly, then it's every day. Now it might be today. Hope so.
Yeah.
Too chicken shit to give him a chance. Silent Rob, 2007 through 2025. That was what he left with. And what's funny is that Minute World literally downloaded everything from his page, including his membership stuff, because he volunteered as tribute to pay the fee to download the membership-only content.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but he also downloaded stuff from his side channel, the Silent Rob Show, just in case he deletes that. He deletes that too. So now he's slowly re-uploading everything on his main channel from the main Silent Rob channel and the side channel, just in case he never comes back. Period. He's also putting it up on archive pretty soon, but don't know when that'll be. So yeah, that's the end of Silent Rob, I guess.
Yeah, don't. Man. Threatening fucking suicide. That's... I don't wanna... That's kind of freaky. Okay.
No comments.
Here's the thing, though. I don't believe him.
Low. I don't
Here's
believe
the thing, though. I don't believe him. Yeah, no one believes him. Like, even if he were to kill himself, the thing about suicide guys is that they don't write something like this.
Yeah, it
almost sounds like,
cry for help.
Yeah, it almost sounds like one of those guys that will say they'll kill themselves. They have like a knife right there, but they don't even try to point it anywhere vital.
You're holding the
I'm gonna do it.
Blunt knife up to your neck, and is like, I'm gonna fucking do it, and it's like, okay.
So here's the thing, though. I've stuck up for Rob for a lot of things. Like, people have been saying, no, he's an asshole. I was like, no, he's just over exaggerating. No, but he said this. Yeah, but he's clearly joking. Yeah, but he also said that. Yeah, but again, that's over exaggeration. I've defended him for a while now because a lot of the stuff he does say is strictly opinion, and the stuff that is factual, while he does say it in a comedic way, it's one of those when he's right kind of things.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when Rob is right, he's right, and when he's funny, he's funny. And he doesn't always get into politics, and when he does, it's like the most footnote way that people can understand. So it's like, okay, whatever. But then he started doing all this, and it's like it's getting harder and harder to defend him. And then it's like I can no longer defend him. It's like, dude, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Like, dude, no one just pops up an $8 membership like that and think, yeah, everything's gonna be just fine.
No.
In fact, I think the moment the $8 membership was a thing, that's when shit hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, okay, you're a guy who's been around for years. You're a legacy content maker. You've been around to witness not only the star rating disappear, but also reply videos go away, reply girls go away,
annotations go away.
Annotations go away, annotations come back. You've seen Spoonie rise and then fall and then just become limbo. The stuck in limbo. You've seen the Nostalgia Critics website come up and then go down. You've seen James Rolfe go into his odd limbo state as well. You stuck around for all of this. You stuck around from all this and you didn't learn a damn thing. And what's funny is that there's a guy called Radical Rick who was so against the guy because he kept on saying that he's
e-bagging, yeah.
E-bagging, all because he has super chats. Yeah, and while this is the same guy that's also has ads in his videos.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's right. He's still wrong about e-bagging. But when you start saying you want to charge $8 just to look at content from like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Matora
is demanding that we get ourselves cleaned up. Should we comply with her demand or no?
Go ahead.
Also, I exist.
I
didn't say anything to... Yeah, I was waiting for Gizmo to say his little thing.
Anyway, should I comply with her demand or should I say no?
Nah.
Get clean.
No.
Anybody else?
Get clean on your own time.
Yeah.
We've been involved in some shit, but I don't think we've ever been involved in shit.
Okay, majority says.
Yeah.
We've been involved in some shit, but I don't think we've been involved in shit that's as serious as what Rob was doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, for the short time I've been here, nothing too serious.
Oh my god, woman!
Yeah. Wow. A bit extreme,
I mean,
much.
Like now,
I mean,
I'm wondering what's going to happen.
After showering, the three converse at
I mean, the
great length,
closest we've
almost as
gotten
if
was
filling
that
in the
incident, but I'm
3-year
not going
gap
to say it.
that had separated
Yeah.
them. They discussed the rescued monkey.
If
They
you know, you
discussed
know.
the hummingbird egg from
Mhm.
Oso Castle and how it went missing. They discussed the fact that one of the ECMC band members appears to be
Makes
an
me wonder what's gonna
amnesiac
happen with-
duster.
The end
And they
with the dono
discussed the
alert I have, where it's just a picture of Rachel Maddow. No, not Rachel Maddow. Fucking that fat bitch.
mysterious
That fat
army
bitch
that
from
had
Netflix. That
radically
Netflix
transformed
series.
Terrence
You know,
Millie Village.
my pussy
As if
stinky
assemb-
bitch.
As if assembling the jumbled pieces of a jigsaw
Schumer.
puzzle, they told
Amy
each other
Schumer.
what they knew.
Like I have
put
a
their
dono
thoughts
that
together.
has her popping up with her
Coming
with
battle
her
will
fat
not
self
be-
showing all, full screen, and it has Silent Rob just yelling, "You are too fucking fat." Now I'm wondering what I'm going to do with that.
On this time that Lucas
It's
really
hilarious.
began to have such feelings.
It's too when it pops up out of nowhere. It's just Rob saying Amy Schumer's fat. But now it's going to be like, who's that? Who is that? I never heard of that. I never heard of this man anywhere. It's like,
We can spell the
fuck, I
bullshit
don't
from
explain
here.
this. It's like, oh, this guy's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's his name? His name's Silent Rob. Oh, why have I haven't seen him anywhere? Because he deleted his channel because he wanted Fent.
Eh,
Yeah, it's going to be hard to
I don't know, Kumatora. Duster isn't really all
I mean,
that well
unfortunately,
acquainted with
that's
us.
kind of the whole thing with some old YouTubers.
I'll be back. I got to take a piss.
All right.
And again, I mean, that's the thing with some old YouTubers.
Yeah.
You either die gracefully, or you live long enough to see yourself as the villain.
Yeah, and
I've
that is what I would
seen
say.
a lot of people I looked up to over the years who helped me learn how to make videos and stuff go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my.
And then,
For-
I mean,
for
at least
me-
it's better than the people who were rotten from the very beginning.
For me, it was
Yeah.
Maximilian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Spoonie was
I-
one.
he's still alright.
I'm glad I'm not following NecroVMX anymore because, boy, I can only imagine.
Suddenly we're
how
feeling
crazy.
feverish, so that means
Ringing around the rosy, pockets full of posies.
ashes, ashes, they all fall down.
I can only imagine how
Ouch.
crazy his reaction to the election night was.
Ooh, yeah. So much coping and seething.
I'm back.
That's all I can say.
Well, let's just
Yeah.
say that one Eric Vale has decided to make a how not to advertise your Twitter account to Uenodia
Green scarf.
recently.
Hell
Oh yeah.
The Twitter account essentially be having his banner be "fuck Donald Trump," and his
Yeah, green trousers, why not?
and essentially
And
You know what?
Elon.
Hell yeah.
F Elon. Yeah.
Rocking a new
Oh.
outfit.
Here's something funny I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear. It's getting an anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew about it.
Oh yeah,
It's
there was
red
some
looking, kind
there
of.
There's
Uh,
some
You know what's the
controversy
great?
around
I
that
know what
happened.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
greatest
I know about
mistake
the
they've ever
Bridget
done,
thing.
which is apparently controversial. Yeah. So I guess they're just correcting it back.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
s-
yeah.
I saw that, and I'm
Look,
like,
we've been through this
wow.
Bridget gender thing before. I'm
Yeah,
not
Bridget
going
isn't.
to again.
But Bridget's not transgender. Bridget's a guy that looks like a girl because of
They need to
because of some shit like fucking like a superstition they had in the village she was born in.
Mhm.
Get-
And
just
now
deal
in the
with it.
current story,
you know what needs to happen?
she is now goes by she
Deal with it.
now.
You know what needs to happen in the next Guilty Gear game? We need to
What?
see Bridget with a big old dwarf beard, and he needs to be built like Arnold.
Yeah,
Why?
Bridget, ever since
Why,
that,
man?
ever since that one incident where people kept calling him a girl, well, in the last game, he decided to go to the gym and start lifting every weight in the place.
Well, there's
I hate to be that.
Now he's insisting people call him Brad.
I hate
to
to
be-
be like that.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy of the actually guy, but actually, yeah. It would,
Yeah.
If Bridget was like that, that would pretty much kill whatever good grace happened during the story arc.
I
Or
don't think it would be really fucking funny.
I feel like that's
Maybe
funny as
before
like
Strive, maybe before Strive, but this is
well, no, I feel like
post-Strive.
that's funny as on like an arcade spoof ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it sounds like you should do it then.
Then in
Evan,
the
no.
Guilty Gear
dude.
game, and in the next Guilty Gear game, Bridget's gone and Brad is there, and Brad is like 25 years old, got like a wife and 5 kids.
Yeah, okay, now
That
you're
even more insult to injury.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
put the FGC players of Guilty Gear Strive to shame. Probably.
Actually, we don't really give a damn.
And to shut
Dang.
up.
It's really the people who don't play Guilty Gear. It's kind of
Yeah, it's how I knew about this was all through technicals, basically making videos on exposing the Strive community.
You know who else has been exposed? Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Crunchyroll.
Big
Here's the
surprise.
thing. There was a Crunchyroll data leak recently, but the thing is, people have come to the conclusion that it's not the that it's not like the website having a leak, and in that it was more like data scrapes, because when it's surveyed. Sure. Okay. Upgrade unit found. Jobs. Oh. 0 to 5 planets surveyed.
Yeah.
Upgrade unit not found.
I even heard about like basically the VAs at Crunchyroll. They don't even get like free products or something for like shows
Not
they
anymore.
work on nowadays.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. You used to get people who worked for Funimation used to get copies of their work. They don't do that anymore at Crunchy stuff.
Yeah.
Crunchymation.
You know why bother then? You know, I never liked Crunchyroll. Like after that,
Crunchyroll is a website. Crunchyroll as a website was always really lame, and then they went official
when it was
got
still
worse.
free.
Yeah, back when it was
And-
still free, and then they went official, and things got worse, and then they got bought by Sony and merged into Funimation, and that got worse, and then the Right Stuff store got sold, and I. Like, frankly, like, guys, I understand why, Sony cuts you a big check. It's hard to turn that down. Like, why did you... Like, why did you sell out to those guys? Like, I understand it's, it's the Facebook thing, Facebook Oculus Rift thing, where it's difficult to turn down on a massive fucking check.
Money.
But Sony now.
Here comes the money.
And they fucked up. Like, the Right Stuff store was so good.
Yeah.
The Funimation store is so. The Funimation store was never good, and the Crunchyroll store is essentially just the Funimation store, but worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aren't they trying to release Ruby on Crunchyroll? Like the next season?
They maybe.
Honestly, I forgot Ruby was still a thing. I thought it was dead.
Yeah. I kind of stopped giving a damn about Ruby and when we lost Montium.
Yeah,
Ruby
I think I stopped caring after I don't know.
Being
Oh,
good
dear.
in season 4. It stopped being
That's
something
kind of
I
the
cared about
popular-
in season 6.
Yeah, that's pretty much the popular consensus. After season 4, it's all downhill.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped watching after, I don't know, when Yang's mom showed up and left.
And then they had
Now I only keep
Italians like the fucking the Rooster, like the Ruby video game that's still available on Steam for some reason with no DLC updates. You know,
Jesus.
Ruby X Justice League Part 1, Ruby X Justice League Part 2.
Jesus Christ. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Honestly,
Even
the only thing-
Not even the comic was good of Ruby X Justice League. And then Ruby
How
went to
could
the
it have
DC universe.
meanwhile,
And not even that was good.
Yeah, I think
It
the
was
only
funny.
good plus.
It
I
was
think the
funny,
only good.
but like not good. Like it was funny
the only-
seeing. It was funny seeing like Alfred literally just materialize snack foods and drinks that matched the Team Ruby's personality.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
was
even
really funny
Good thing that
seeing
came out
knowing
of the
that
Ruby Cross versus
Nightwing-
the video
It was
game.
funny that Nightwing's like aura. What was it? Semblance. It was funny.
Semblance?
No, it was funny. Yeah, it was funny knowing that Nightwing's semblance when Ruby came there was literally just giving everybody a moral boost. Because again, nobody hates Nightwing.
And I remember when Semblance used to be cool.
yeah.
But then it's like I'm seeing Blake talk shit to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the wrong person
Fuck
to
you.
do that. Consider what she's done.
Like it would make more sense if it was Weiss, not Blake.
It just sounds
Yeah.
almost somewhat out of character for Blake.
No, like
It's
if
kind of
Blake
funny
talking
how
to
Blake-
someone is not out of character, but when it's Batman, then no, it's out of character.
Oh,
Mhm.
Blake, you used to be one of the fan favorites, and now after you're kind of the worst Ruby character, arguably.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how my stances on each Ruby member kind of changed over the years. First, it was Yang was the favorite, now Weiss is the favorite, and Blake is hated. And Ruby hasn't changed, she's still there.
What do you think? Which show do you think had the most bad luck, Ruby or Young Justice?
The answer is yes.
Ruby.
So Ruby had good animation and choreography for a bit. And Young Justice never had a good plot.
Mhm.
Mm.
And
Like,
Ruby
at
did.
First,
I mean, we didn't know much of a plot. I mean, I guess we're only based on Monty Mahomes' incomplete notes.
yeah.
Mhm.
we
So
don't know
who's
what
to say how much it was Monty and how much was just the staff filling in
we
the
don't
gaps?
necessarily know what Ruby could have been, because for all we know, they had a plan that would have turned out great. With Young Justice, like, they had a plan for stuff we never saw.
Yeah.
Or had yet to be animated, or at the very least.
No, I'm talking about like the Justice League stuff. The plans
Oh,
that they had
okay.
for the show
Oh.
were like the stuff that they had was scant, and the stuff they didn't
Mhm.
the stuff that they had didn't make a whole lot of sense anyways.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Let's see what I got here. Alright, here's something, I guess a trope we could talk about. Hey, what's a favorite example of this trope? A character that's been hyped up but barely used. Anyone got any examples? I'm just...
Already set.
Here's my...
As I lost all
here.
the items.
Go ahead and go right ahead.
Here's mine, I guess. Adam Warlock from the MCU.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian in Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
true.
too.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Salem?
Saberhagen?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, Snoke from the Star Wars, new Star
Very
Wars.
much so.
Yeah.
Snoke be like, can we skip the part that rips off Return of the Jedi?
No.
Mm.
So I'm just
Uh,
dead.
No,
then?
we're going
Yeah.
to do
Oh yeah, Sienna Khan, the White Fang leader. Yeah, she was hyped up and then got killed literally in the same scene she was in.
There was a
about,
lot of characters that they wasted as just cameos or one-offs in Ruby, like
Oh yeah, the Green Lantern box.
Most of the characters you saw in the Vital
Remember
Festival.
that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. And there's also Macaulay from Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah, him. The
Oh, what wasted potential.
He
Even
had
though,
such a
like-
great design.
Oh fuck.
yeah. Even though like the gravelly voice, like I see what they were trying to go with. He's supposed to be like an unstable like being.
I mean, we had so many fears of what he could be. Some said he was like the true the Dark Hado. Some,
But I already had.
Yeah.
but no,
You know-
he's just some random ancient spirit here to eat people, only to get jobbed by everybody.
Devour all.
And then he got jobbed by literally everybody.
He was basically the punching bag.
Being job indicates that he was around.
Joe
Yeah.
Hendry.
Yeah,
from
but he didn't do
WWE.
anything meaningful. He was
Yeah.
around, but what exactly good did he do? What
Jesus.
impact did he have on the plot?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, it's one to get jobbed, but it's one to not do anything with those jobbing. I mean, Vegeta gets jobbed, but he's still a memorable part of the plot.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Becomes
That's also an example.
and becomes an essential.
And also
character
Chad.
in the series.
And also,
Yeah.
Chad. I mean,
Chad
he's
at
a
least-
good... Yeah, go ahead,
there's a good
Kevin.
example. Basically, every movie villain in Dragon Ball Z and GT
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in
Baby
this
was
Zero,
alright.
that isn't Broly.
Oh.
How many people have you
yeah,
seen-
you're right.
How many people have you seen use Slug, Turles, Nappa, Cooler,
I've seen a lot of
Mega
Nappa,
Cooler,
surprisingly.
Metal
Nappa,
Frieza,
surprising.
and Whis?
Let's
Is this
see. Are we
for-
talking DP battles or single ones?
And
If we're talking DP battles, then I see a lot of Nappas. But if we're talking single battles, then yeah, you're right. And the occasional Whis.
Oh.
Right, and that's what I was getting at. Only one of them is used more regularly than the other ones. Nobody is using Slug. Nobody
Well,
is using Turles. Nobody is using the fucking Space Pirate.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's not really the character. That's mostly because, you know, the top character is so ungodly overpowered that why bother using them when you can just use better foot? I
Because
mean,
they're
why?
too
Yeah, exactly. You think people...
shit.
Like,
They're too
Mark,
chicken shit to
you
use
think-
anyone else. It's either
yeah,
least when it-
exactly.
at least when you're
They
choosing
play
Goku,
ranked.
Vegeta. At least when you're choosing Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Krillin, Yamcha, Trunks, it's like, okay, yeah, you clearly have you clearly have a favorite. You know, you like Saiyans and you like the Z Fighters, whatever. But then it's
Mhm.
like you're outright choosing fusions and Super Saiyan
Gods.
4s and Legendary
Mhm.
Broly. It's
I like GT Goku, but I always start in base form, man. I gotta earn the Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
I wanna earn it.
I
It's
know
like-
the feeling.
It's like in Street Fighter 4 tournaments when everyone was either picking Sagat or Ken.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's
If
kind
we're
of
talking,
fighting
yeah,
game, darkest thing, the meta.
yeah,
Everybody's
fact,
gonna pick the top character,
yeah.
and
in
unless
fact,
that game is either, you know, Blaze Blue, where everybody's broken, or
yeah. You know,
or,
funnily
you know-
enough. Mhm. Go ahead.
yeah, go. Oh no, I was gonna say.
Right, yeah, because I was there around the time when Street Fighter 4 was all the hype. Like, I was kind of watching it from the sidelines. Like, the God was one of those characters that
He was.
he wasn't very risky to use, but it was like definitely was predominantly used quite
I mean,
a lot.
the first version of Street Fighter
Yeah,
4, kind of took over with occasional Ken.
that's why I said Street Fighter 4.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's why I
then-
said Street Fighter 4. No Super, no Arcade, no Ultra.
Yeah.
Like straight up just
Yeah.
vanilla Street Fighter 4.
But then, yeah, because like Arcade Edition, because that was made when arcade owners in Japan got pissed. Like, hey, that's cool, you released Super Street Fighter 4 for consoles only, but there's a problem because people aren't coming to the arcades, and we want a version to appease the arcade people. And then, yeah, Yun and Fei Long were the predominant like top ones that were like, I guess, overpowered wise, but
Potassium.
I really
Yeah.
hope they bring back Fei Long in Street Fighter 6. I miss him so much.
Look, man. If we are getting our DLC pack, for the love of God, no more Street Fighter 2. I mean, I know Fei Long's cool, but come on, I'm sick of Street Fighter 2.
No, I have no
Street Fighter
problem.
2 characters should have been default characters.
Yeah,
No, I
are
don't have
default
no problem with
characters.
Street Fighter 2
Problem with the
characters.
But
base
it's like-
roster.
the base roster, we got like the original 8 World Warriors, but it's like.
Yeah, but
okay.
that's the thing, though. Who the fuck cares about Honda?
Everybody.
I like E Honda.
I like E Honda. I've beaten people with E Honda.
Okay, outside of Street Fighter 6.
I'm happy with some of the choices we're getting. The SNK
Oh.
reps, Terry and Mai, which
Yeah,
He's
but
an
I'm talking
SNK guy,
about before the
happy with
DLC.
those.
Before the DLC.
If you're gonna
Right,
have
right.
half of the Street Fighter 2 cast, you're gonna have to need the other half.
yeah,
But look,
like
man,
get the essential ones.
Look,
And dude, it's
I'm with
a
the original.
PS5 game. It's an Xbox Series game. You can't give me an excuse like, oh, they can't fit that many characters. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
You've seen Ultra Street Fighter 4 and how many characters they put in a 360 console.
I mean, for
Yeah.
God's sakes, like
Okay,
they got the whole Super Street
Look,
Fighter
man,
2
maybe
Turbo
it's just a
cast.
Street Fighter 3 fan in me just saying, but look, the game Street Fighter just takes place literally after Street Fighter 3. So I expect
Right, so-
Street Fighter 3 characters. Where's Alex? Where's Sean? Oro?
They showed you and they fucked up in Street
John.
Fighter 5.
You know, for
Yeah.
as much as I, yeah,
This
even,
is
even
yeah,
I'll
but Street
admit-
Fighter 5 has the excuse of this takes place before 3, so half of those guys weren't
here's
even.
my thing.
This is 6.
Here's my thing. With the exception of M. Bison, because, you know, fucking die
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Street
I'm not saying the
Fighter
roster's
2
bad.
characters should make a comeback
Yeah.
once again just to show. No, I get what you're saying, but like you need them regardless because see, look what happened to Street Fighter 3. Look what happened to Street Fighter 5. Either way you slice it, none of them did any good when they excluded most of the Street Fighter 2 cast. 'Cause
Yeah,
people were
but I
asking,
get it,
where did
yeah.
they go?
At least people love Street Fighter 3 now. It took a
Yeah.
while.
No,
Yeah.
now
It's still-
now they do. They don't like Street Fighter 3 though. They like Street
They like Third Strike though.
Fighter 3 Third
Yeah.
Strike.
Which
How many
might-
people have you heard say, yeah, I would like playing Street Fighter 3 online? No, you hear them say, yeah, I like playing Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Yeah,
Maybe Second
Okay.
Impact, but not 3.
yeah.
Fine. Look, man. At least
Because even
look, look, the roster's not bad. I mean, sure, we got some. I mean, I know it's not completely. I mean, the new characters are great, and yeah, we got returning, Jury and
Vodka
Mhm.
coming
Jury,
right
and so. But look,
yeah.
my only issue was that there was like zero Street Fighter 3 rep.
Mhm.
Like,
They've been adding Street Fighter 3 characters, and they slowly started appearing in 4
Let's
and then
try
5.
this again with a bit more
Yeah, but-
feeling.
look, it's just that when you tell me that Street Fighter 6 takes place after 3, I was like excited, like, oh shit, we're finally gonna see like having it now. Capcom has the excuse to bring back Street Fighter 3 because 5 at least has the excuse that this takes before the game. Like, I want to
Jesus,
know what
okay.
happens to Dudley or
Yeah.
freaking Alex or Sean.
Yeah, that was literally me with Street Fighter 5 for some of the
Is your name Hull?
other
Yes, that would be Hull.
Yeah,
like
Or
Sakura.
hell, maybe even
That's what
bring
I've
back-
been looking for.
or hell, maybe you could try to make Remy cool somehow.
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause,
you
like,
did
Gonna
with
make
Ed.
them cool.
I'm
Like,
like,
they
yeah,
made
like,
Ed cool. If they can make
Here
Ed
is the
cool, then they could probably try something with Remy.
Ed was
Yeah.
cool.
Or hell, maybe try again with 12.
Costumes are bullshit.
Yeah, because
Yeah, or
like the way he played in 5 was a bit weird. It was almost like a prototype to the modern controls for 6.
Yeah,
It was just modern Balrog. That was pretty cool.
yeah,
He was like
Yeah.
Balrog was like the heavy
I'm not
hitter. He was like the
responsible
light
for this
hitter.
Invisible Man.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I still played Balrog over Ed, but yeah, I could see.
Here's
what
my
you
thing:
mean.
if they're gonna, regardless, they're gonna have to. And we know they're going to eventually. If they are going to add the entire Street Fighter 2 cast, minus some Bison because he was
Yeah.
already revealed,
Yeah.
and again, please die already. They're gonna have to
You,
not
the
only
day
age up the
Bison
Street
died
Fighter
was the
2
most
cast.
important day of your life.
Yeah.
For Bison, it was Tuesday.
Yep.
So
Pretty
not only would
much.
they have to age up the entire Street Fighter 2 cast like they did Ryu, Chun-Li, Ken, Cammy, and so on,
Mm-hmm.
they would also have to bring back the Street Fighter 4 cast as well as the Street Fighter
The
Street
thing,
Fighter
though,
3
Street
cast.
Fighter
But here's
6
the thing.
all the Street Fighter 2 characters are aged up.
Mhm.
No, if you go for the Street Fighter 3 cast,
Mhm.
by that time they wouldn't have aged up as much as the Street Fighter 2 cast. Because the
here's
Street
the
Fighter 2
thing,
cast
though.
would have already been in what?
Ken literally
40s or
mentioned
50s,
Sean.
like that?
Yeah.
We see a picture of what he looks like now in the modern day, so they're still around.
Yeah.
No, I
There's-
get that, but what I'm saying is that if you're going to bring back Street Fighter 2 cast and have them age, you also have to bring out the other ones, but you cannot age a Street Fighter 3 cast as much as, say, the Street Fighter Alpha or 2 cast, because
Dude, this is Capcom. Do you really think they're gonna care?
by
No,
this
They
point,
never do.
Gen is already
No,
dead.
they're-
Gen is already dead at this point. Let's
Yeah.
just face
Mhm.
facts. Gen is dead. Rolento is probably retired. Rolento's probably retired. Cody's probably
Hate to
still
be
an
that
alpha.
guy, but Gen's still alive.
He's
Yeah,
still alive?
apparently he survived. Takuma. Yeah, apparently he showed up in Street Fighter 6 story.
Okay, then.
Even Ryu mentions him.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
right.
Akuma
Yeah, Capcom-
still has not killed a single man.
Capcom does not give a shit about continuity. Like the Devil May Cry games, the fucking Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
fucking the.
Well, now they do when it comes to Street Fighter. but
Second to
what-
last Resident Evil game had Chris sounding like he did when he was, back in Resident Evil 1, and looking like he did in Resident Evil like
5.
Well,
or
regardless,
6, rather.
regardless,
All
they're
right,
now.
finish.
Regardless, though, they're now actually going forward with the Street
Yes, which I'm
Jesus.
glad.
Fighter
I'm
timeline
happy.
and no longer going in between or going flashbacks like they did with Alpha and 3 and 4. They have
Yes,
to. The only
which
other
I'm-
they're going to have to age up the Street Fighter 2 cast, but they're going to have to only very minimally age up the Street Fighter 3 cast because everybody from 2, 4, and Alpha have aged quite a bit. And we're talking about 3 though, and like we're following the actual Street Fighter timeline. At this point,
Yes.
it's very minimal how much
Yeah,
but
but
Street Fighter 3 cast as age. Think about it. Remy, Alex, 13, all those guys, Oro, none of
Yeah.
those guys would have aged as drastically as Ryu or Ken or Chun-Li because those guys, if we're going by their age from Street Fighter 2, they're like in their 40s or 50s at this point. Guys from the Street Fighter 3 cast, they have to have at least aged a lot less than that, like a decade, maybe less than that.
Yeah, Ibuki probably wouldn't be all that much changed up.
I mean,
Yeah, like
Ish.
Ibuki is probably
Mhm.
like what in her 20s at this point or something like that.
Yeah.
Remy's probably
I
like
mean,
Remy's probably like college age at this point. Maybe Oro's probably like up, like maybe a little bit aged up, but because he's already old as fuck, it's not going to really matter.
Damn it.
Minimal. The aging up for Street Fighter 3 cast is minimal, unlike Street Fighter 2, 4, and Alpha.
look, I mean, I get what you mean. Yes, I understand. And I do say we're sort of kind of getting Street Fighter free love with the DLC because Elena's coming out after Mai, so we are getting some Street Fighter free rep with Elena. Hope she's not as cheap as she was in 4,
You know she's going to be cheap.
probably with healing.
They're going to leave that in. You know that.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's literally her main super art. They're gonna probably make it level 2 at least.
I want my boy Cody to come back, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
Damn it, my ship is
Yeah,
damaged
there's a
again.
bunch of
I
Street
just
Fighters we
cleaned
all
up
want.
this place. Can
Yeah.
we keep it clean for 10 minutes?
I
I mean, we could all go for our dream DLC pack.
Wasn't Cody a mayor last time we
Yes,
saw
he
him?
was.
Yeah,
Yes,
Street
he
Fighter
was.
5. Street Fighter 5, what happened
Yeah.
was that after he got out of prison, Mayor Hagar gave him the mantle of mayor for Metro City.
So that's,
And you know what?
That's just
That's
how
actually
Mayor
something
was
I
elected
did.
in? He was-
Why did he
That's
go to
something I
prison,
didn't
by
like.
the way?
Cody went to prison because after he saved his girlfriend in Final Fight 1, he got so bored and
He got punched happy.
Did he become
so
a vigilante?
what's that word?
Kind of.
Well, kind of, sort of. So afterwards, he was just so bored and so depressed because that was the height of his life. That was like the peak of his life because he was fighting like robots and gang leaders and all and ninjas and shit that he got so bored after that he started fighting literally anybody he thought could give him a fair fight and was sent to prison. And then once he heard And then once other stuff started happening in the Street
Okay,
Fighter world,
I
and
found
Bison, like M Bison shit, He broke out of prison willingly
Mhm.
and went and depending on what happens, he willingly goes back to prison afterwards.
All right, that's why he's wearing the prison garb in that one
Okay.
game.
And you
Funny thing about that, funny thing about that, he leaves the cuffs on just to make things easier for his opponent.
Yeah, he could take it off at any point, but he doesn't.
Kind of like Shadow.
And in my opinion, and Cody has, in my opinion, one of the best English voices in the game.
Yeah.
Like, he was so into it. It's like, you want to start fighting for real now? Like,
oh yeah, Street Fighter 4
dear.
voice is really good.
And knowing Capcom,
they did Captain in 5.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Like they did with Frank.
Well, now let's see what I.
Yeah.
Well, now let's see what I can do about this boredom.
And Ada.
I'm still.
And Leon.
Yeah, if there was a Street Fighter character I want to cosplay as, it's got to be Cody.
Leon's
it's got to be
fine.
Cody or Dan.
Are we talking about which Leon are we talking about? Are we talking about like remake Leon or
Yes.
His OG RE4.
Because like RE4 Leon, RE6 Leon, I like those Leons. Like Matt Mercer, or you know, whether he's a dick or not, he's a good voice for Leon. But but like,
I mean, they're probably gonna go.
Bothers me, and
considering it's modern Capcom, they're probably going to go with the remake.
Yeah. And you know what? I think I told Kevin about this, that I was so upset over some of the casting changes from 5 to 6.
Yeah. I mean, I do miss Ruben as Ken, but I mean, new guy does an alright job.
Yeah. And even on the Japanese side, like Bison, for example, he's not voiced by Norio Wakamoto. They got
really
Titan.
They changed him.
Yeah, they got the guy who voiced him in the Japanese dub of Wreck-It Ralph.
At least they got somebody who's done the voice before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Breaking news! There's leaks about the Switch 2.
Oh, more.
They say
it's Switch 2 hardware improvements as well as the game launches. Let me read the improvements. Larger screen, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, we knew
Drift-free Joy-Con.
Yes.
I'll believe
which
that
is also
when I
obvious.
see it.
Magnetic attachments.
Yeah, that was already revealed.
That worries me though. That worries me.
Well, that was revealed with the Switch 2 announced trailer.
Yeah, right, but when they said it, they actually said that they were trying to experiment with this before, but they settled with the current design of the regular Switch because they were afraid that the magnets would mess with the components and stuff like that.
Yeah. My main worry, my main worry is that those tiny little USB plugs on the side of the Switch 2 are going to be super easy to break.
Yeah, I'd be worried about that too.
I feel like that just shows how they're going to connect and not actually going to be sticking out of the console.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, I just hope they figure out a way to not make that an issue.
I hope so too.
In the long run.
I hope so, but I don't know if I trust modern Nintendo with this kind of stuff anymore.
I guess we'll wait.
I trust my Nintendo more than I do Sony at this point.
I mean, I would consider.
Fuck Sony.
I mean, I'll probably get it. I mean,
mouse-like functionality. And these are for PC-style games.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see the Switch version of certain shooters play better than the PS5 version.
You know, Nintendo signed a deal with Microsoft to bring over a bunch of Call of Duty games.
I'm getting there. Flexible kickstand. So they redesigned a kickstand again. Whatever. I'll judge it when I actually get my hands on it.
Yeah.
Now for the launch games that are leaked.
This is
The first party titles are Mario Kart 9, which will support 24-person races in multiplayer mode.
Oh wow!
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, they canceled my pre-order for that.
It's just on Amazon. They canceled pre-orders and
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild remaster.
That better be already.
That better be good.
It's not. It's got to be full price.
Why?
I remember when I bought my Switch, that was the only game I played until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, and the farthest
Is it gonna
I
come with the DLC Breath of the Wild remastered?
they better.
You know what? That's a good question.
Maybe
I want
Legend
that.
of Breath of the Wild
that shit needs to be put on
Definitive
a cartridge.
Edition. Breath of the Wild Definitive Edition, maybe.
Unknown Legend of Zelda remake, and it's going to be of a classic title.
That's gonna be either
If
Link's
it's,
Past or
yeah.
Link's
I think-
Adventure or Zelda 2.
I think I know. I think it's the NES game remastered or remade.
Which one?
The
The classic or Zelda 2?
the classic.
I'm gonna.
That's already been technically remade with Breath of the
Again,
Wild.
next
I'm
year,
gonna take
if
that. Okay, I'm gonna be right.
Because remember, like when they made the Breath of the
Right
Wild
back.
prototype, it was when they made the Breath of the Wild prototype, it was an NES version of the Zelda 1, and with like the same kind of mechanics you would expect from Breath of the Wild.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and pull out the Joker card, and I think it's gonna be Zelda 2.
Yeah, I think
I
it's gonna
agree,
be
the
you
one
know,
where it's
I
like a
don't
side.
Yeah.
That would be
Zelda's
cool,
gonna
but I
be 2D
doubt
side
it.
for the
scroller.
family.
It's like just like the black redheaded sheep of the family. New 3D Super Mario Bros. Game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could be anything. Well, whatever. Yeah. Pokemon
Mario Kong
Legend.
Country.
Don't give them ideas.
What
Pokemon
Pokemon
what?
game did they announce?
Pokemon Legends Z through A.
It's a Y games.
I'm gonna say Z.
Remakes
I'm gonna
of
call
X
Z
and Y.
through A. Excuse me. Now for the third party titles. Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
I'm buying
Oh,
that.
what?
Woo!
I'm
I would buy that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Doom:
Yeah.
The Dark Ages.
I'm buying that too. I've got all
What's
the
the
other Doom
Dark
games on
Ages?
Switch.
Metaphor:
Doom.
Refantasio.
I don't give a shit.
Oh. Nah.
You want to give a shit even less? Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Oh, fuck off. Assassin's Creed hasn't been good since AC4.
I'm gonna head out. Night, everybody.
Diablo 4.
Wait.
Diablo hasn't been good since Diablo 3.
It's online only. It's dead on arrival.
Don't you have
DOA.
Technically Diablo 2. Why can't we get Diablo 2? 1 and 2.
Because Blizzard's a bunch of pussies.
Because
Yeah.
Blizzard hates their old games because they're better than the ones they make now.
Also,
No.
they think that they think they know what you want more than you do.
Yeah, well, it's like that that PlayStation
I guess that's
guy
why
who
they
said-
brought up Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, it's like that PlayStation guy who says, you don't want... Why would anybody want to play these old games? Well, these old games are better than your new games.
Right, exactly.
Like, it's the reason why people keep going back to the GameCube, PS2, Xbox Spider-Man 2, and they don't want to go back and play your stupid fucking not Venom game. Now we won't even get to see... They don't even have the goddamn DLC finished.
No, they
Jesus.
canceled it.
Yeah, I know. I know they canceled it.
3 more. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Who the fuck cares?
No.
Baby, the real gamers are here.
Jesus
Red
Christ.
Dead Redemption 2.
Nope.
Okay.
2.
God
2.
damn.
2.
That's
Redemption
cool.
2.
Where's one?
Where's the first
Oh,
one? Yeah.
that was already ported.
Oh, that
It's
already
on
got
Switch.
ported?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
just
It
right.
already got ported.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think they're releasing 2 for the Switch 2? And lastly, Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, we're gonna get to watch the horse scrotum
And let me
shrink in
guess,
real
it
time on the
doesn't- it-
Switch too.
Let me guess. It doesn't come with the DLC.
You don't know. We don't know. They haven't.
It totally
only,
doesn't.
the
I'm going to
leaks
bet
only
you it does
say
not come with
the
the
leaks
DLC.
only say what games are going to be announced for it when it comes
damn
out.
it.
And speaking of announcements,
Yeah.
we're going to get the official announcement
Hmm.
on April 2nd, which I really think is ill timing considering it's the day after April Fools.
Yeah.
That date was already revealed by Nintendo.
There's going to be more detail on the pricing and the pre-orders, as well as more games that are lined up for the Switch on that day too.
And I am Jesus. I don't know what I was going to say, but if they're going to announce a special edition of some kind, I maybe consider. Maybe.
It really depends on the price for me, man. Like,
yeah, me too.
I'm hearing the price is gonna be between 400.
I'm sorry, but like, if it's to the point where, fuck your 500 for a Switch, hell no.
Fuck that.
Apparently,
Jesus,
it's going to be
one...
two prices. $449. Hang on. It's apparently going to be one of two prices: $449 without a game, $499 with Mario Kart.
No, don't ever get any game system nowadays that happens to be bundled with a game, because all they're going to do is either
always a DLC code.
Yeah,
it's always the download code,
digitally installed already, or just give you a code. Yeah, it's a bullshit code shit. Just get it separately. Yeah,
I mean, for goodness sakes, look what happened when they did that Smash Ultimate Edition console. Like, the game, you weren't going to get a physical copy. That was a straight-up download code.
Yeah, I made that mistake. I made that mistake when I got my Wii U.
At its launch.
Like, I made that mistake when I got my Wii U. When it came with the new Mario game, I find out it was...
Here's my issue. Why would you make
digital
its
copy?
I'm like, $150 more?
Because it's more powerful and they have more modern specs.
Yeah, but no, I get that, but it's many years after it originally came out. You think they would be able to do a more powerful console at a cheaper price?
Well, then we also have to worry about like
they technically are, considering the prices for PS5 and Xbox Series.
Potentially,
the price is almost the same as those.
Oh,
$499.
I don't know where you're getting your console information from, dude. PS5s are $600+.
That's the PS5 Pro. The PS5 is $500.
No,
PS5. Yeah, with that price, that's like the equivalent.
PS5
like that,
PS5 was
mini PC out of that.
The PS5 Spider-Man edition that I had was like $560, I think it was, or $620 or something like that. And
the thing is, if it was, it's a modern day Sony console, so it's not worth any money, considering they have their library is as big as the Virtual Boys library.
They only have
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing, though. I'm counting out collections, reboots, remakes, and remasters. So if you take out all of those, technically, PS5 has a library as big as the Virtual Boys' entire game catalog.
Hey, Warp Engine.
Hilarious.
Where's my Warp Engine fault, guys?
Meanwhile, the Series X has no games.
You just play them off of Game Pass.
Series X has no exclusive games.
It does, but they're a lot less than the PS5 does. Even then, even then, I trust Microsoft more than I do Sony at this point too, because at least they're trying to give you their older games without having to pay a higher subscription.
Yeah.
Because what Sony is doing is that when they release Dino Crisis 1 and 2 on the Sony stores, you will only be able to play them.
1 and 2, by the way.
Right. You get to buy them and just play them outright. But here's the thing. If you want to play them on the PS5, you have to not just get a PlayStation Network account. You also have to have a higher tier subscription for your PlayStation 5 in order to play the Dino Crisis games and every other PlayStation 1 and 2 game digital.
Which is really stupid. Like, people... I remember, like...
I'm not talking... any subscription will do. You have to get a higher price subscription than the normal subscription. While, in the meanwhile, Nintendo and Microsoft, with their respectable consoles, you can just pay any subscription, and you can play any of their games.
Mm-hmm.
Any.
Why isn't the left hand...
I could pay for just 1 month of Xbox Game Pass, and I'll be able to at least play Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X games as much as I want to. Some for free, some paid. Meanwhile, with Sony, you want to play a PlayStation 1 game? All right. Well, pay a little more to get a higher tier subscription, and you're able to play the PlayStation 1 and 2 games now.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Sony.
It's like, god dang.
You know what?
I
Plays
expect-
PlayStation 1 and 2 games, and I don't have to.
You know, I want to point this
My
out.
computer.
Nintendo did confirm backwards compatibility, but with big old quotes. As
You
though
know
some
what?
games
That's
that
gonna
will
be,
be compatible with.
It's likely the Labo games that aren't going to be
Labo
compatible.
I
and,
hope
Ring
so, but
Fit.
you never know.
No, I
I
think-
Nintendo.
I feel like the Labo games are going to be compatible. It's just no one's really going to go out of their way and,
Well, the Switch
Get it?
2 isn't going to be able to fit in the old Labo.
Yeah. Mhm.
Would the old Joy-Cons work with the new Switch, or would they lock it away?
I don't think they're-
They can definitely connect via Bluetooth. Whether they'd be able to connect via
the Switch.
the
Yeah, the
physical
console.
Switch itself, that's probably something that'll last for as long as those components exist. And then once
Mhm.
that's out, that's gonna be like that's why I wasn't able to move left and right. Side thrusters are fucked.
And can we talk about how
Go ahead.
Trump one-shot Mexico and
No.
Canada today?
I mean, I thought
Oh, that.
Mexico is one thing, Canada is another thing. I find it
And
kind
our
of funny.
dumbasses.
I find it kind of funny that Mexico basically is now having to adhere to the deals that they made, like back in the Biden administration, and now,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
And they added more concessions to it.
and Canada, like, okay, Canada sells more stuff to the United States than we buy
Mhm.
from there, so
Yeah.
What does Canada even do? We should just take them over already.
maple syrup.
Maple syrup and Scott Pilgrim.
It'll become American maple syrup in the next few years.
Yeah, we need to.
Several
I've been
more
saying-
years
I've been
later.
saying we need to
We
annex
have that.
Canada.
It's called Aunt Jemima.
It's. I'm pretty sure that Trump was joking at first, but now he fully means it.
Well, we don't have to deal with Governor Trudeau anymore. He resigned, didn't he?
No,
Good.
he's still in office for now.
Oh.
Fucking
I would
cock.
not be surprised if he went back on it.
Mhm.
Guys,
No
shrimp.
Anyway,
Okay. Well,
why are we even investing in consoles anymore? Let's just invest in PC.
no,
Fuck
no,
that.
Oh,
You know-
okay, Alex
No,
started
no.
on this, you motherfucker.
PC gaming
You
is
know-
the cancer that has destroyed video games, and I will not hear any positive things about it.
So
Don't you
here's-
mean
I-
companies?
Jesus.
No. Here's the
Hmm.
thing.
here's
Here's
the
the
thing.
thing about
Here's the
people
thing.
saying just
Oh, shoot.
PC. When it comes to
I gotta get
gaming,
out.
I can see why people
Alright.
love it.
Alright,
You know,
later.
like at the very least. Okay, so
Bye.
when people say that PC gaming is the best way to game, I can see why they would like it at the very least, love it at the very most. But to say that it's objectively the best way to game is outright false, because just like how people say the best way to game on consoles is outright false. Because here's the thing. If everything is on PC, what's the point of getting a console? Okay, good point.
Exactly.
But no, here's the thing though. What's going to happen to Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony after they get out of the console market?
They gotta go to PC.
Okay, why?
Come on, OBS,
Why
stop
should they?
disconnecting.
Why do
Because
they have to?
PC is the better platform compared
It's
to
not a better
consoles.
platform.
It's
So
not.
allow
Yes,
me to,
Can
no,
you
no,
do
no.
mods on games on
You-
consoles compared
it
to
doesn't
PC?
matter.
Buddy,
Let me-
no, you're missing the point.
allow
Can
me-
I make
hang
a
on.
point? I want to make a
No.
point.
I'm gonna dismantle this entire argument. So here's the big problem. The big problem with PC gaming is that throughout the entire history of PC gaming has been held back by certain bottlenecks. And consoles have been where those bottlenecks were innovated around. So, without consoles, we wouldn't have had a standardized system for reading data off of optical media.
Bon voyage, amigo.
As well as
Scott,
other things that
please
came with
grant
it,
our
such as how. And there's other things that came with the console, such as such as a way to sell
Controller, physical media,
the controllers, as well as
physical
mass
media
stock.
get damaged.
There's
very
one other
easily.
huge issue. There's one other huge issue PC gaming has, and it's DRM.
Yes.
And
So
I feel like
consoles-
Ryan, you're
issue,
ignoring
yes.
that.
yeah, consoles
Like,
have DRM. The DRM on consoles.
That's one of the bigger issues, yes. And while people have been able to crack DRM many times, there are still hundreds, if not thousands, of games that are still hard to work on modern day consoles, let alone PCs.
You want a good example of a game that's had DRM for almost a decade? Dead Rising 4. I don't know why Capcom has paid what is essentially millions to keep that game hardlocked with DRM, even though it's already been cracked years ago.
Yeah.
They're
Why
still under the stupid belief that it combats piracy.
Right. While with consoles, you don't have that problem.
Unfortunately, you have other problems now. See, part of the reason why games in general these days are so fucking bloated is because of the high capacity of hard drives. Back when you had stuff like, it had to fit on a DVD or a CD or whatever.
No,
Blu-ray.
I would say that's more due to the incompetence on the companies and the people working.
No.
Yes, but that incompetence
Not entirely.
was tempered by the fact that if you couldn't fit a game on a disc, it really couldn't ship. And then you had all this stuff where it's like,
in all frankness, if you're someone working in a company that's making a game and you can't, how is it that you can't find your way around on how to make a game smaller in
that's
size?
not the elaborate gesture. So
let me answer. It is possible. The issue is that a lot of companies, especially, it takes a lot of effort to compress, and a lot of the masters in development that have used to do this are no longer around, and the new people
give you a
either
preview.
don't know how or just do not have the time to do it. And that's why the discs, like on PS5 and Xbox Series X, for example, act more like raw files rather than the actual game itself. It unzips onto the console.
It's the same thing as they're essentially acting like install discs on PC. Like, PC gaming was not built around the ability to live read media off of an optical drive. And so you just wind up with, so Hull found himself a girlfriend. I thought he was married to the hairpiece thing. What's her name?
Another thing I have to mention is that there's going to be less competition if everything were just to be on PC, like just outright.
There's already not enough.
Even when there were
competition,
even when there were different types of computers that played different types of games, there was they at least had their own components and their own tech to basically separate themselves from normal PC.
Well,
games like the VIC-20, the Commodore or Apple computers and stuff like that. At least they had their own tech components.
Tangent, but I'm gonna be calling it for the night.
Yeah, I'm calling it for the night soon too. It's getting kind of late.
Yes.
I mean,
So next time on Mother
my point
3,
about
since
the
we
whole
made
console
quite a
thing,
bit of
'cause one thing,
progress despite having
if PC
having
does
ram my
take
head
over
against
no
a
more
brick wall
consoles, that would be so fucking
for
disastrous.
God knows how long.
For the industry, because it would kill any
We're gonna be
innovation out there.
We're gonna
No,
actually
let
be
me-
doing some
let me make my
grinding
point.
off screen because
The
we've
main
got an
thing
optional
is
boss
that-
to fight.
What? Hang on.
Kevin's
The,
almost done.
the main. Alright.
So,
So let me
we'll
finish my
see
point.
you
So
guys
like the reason I say
then.
is because exclusives like the
know where to
competition in the
find
gaming
each of
industry has
us.
forced Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, so on, to force to innovate, make these amazing.
And
But are they really innovating anyway?
Well, they
Yes,
were
they have
Yeah.
been.
Absolutely.
into the So up into the
And since
We'll
the
say-
atmosphere has gotten uncomfortable, well,
Like-
I'm gonna be leaving.
Bye, Kevin.
fine, you're
Hey, Kevin.
okay, whatever. Anyways, so here's the thing: the PC gaming market has relied on it essentially just relies on the the ability of the hardware, right? And whether or not, so you have these games that wind up not being able to run on anything, even below a certain point, even when they just have. Yeah, Hole just joined the crew.
I don't see anyone join the crew.
You're not watching the stream where I'm playing the game.
Oh.
So anyways,
never mind.
so yeah, so the big problem with PC gaming throughout its entire life is that it just has an issue where games eat fucking hardware capability. Why did my game just... What the hell just happened to my game, guys? Just in full screen mode. My full screen mode, guys. There we go.
Pushes Alex out of the way. Allow me to take over.
Anyways, so here's the problem. One of the problems that PC gaming has had since its very earliest inception was the fact that the games required certain types of hardware to run. And now, like, thankfully we've gotten past that, but the problem still remains that you essentially have to have a hard drive to install a game onto these days. Like, back in the day, you used to be able to insert a disc, back in, like, the MS-DOS days, you could insert a disc and play the game without having to install to a hard drive. And the games were smaller back then, sure, but as time went on, more games required hard drives, and more games required larger and larger hard drives.
Because they were becoming bigger.
Well, yeah, they were becoming bigger, but they were becoming bigger without really thought, so to speak.
And what really helped kill physical releases on PC was Valve, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and as much as I love them, Valve is what really killed it.
That and the fact that Blu-rays remained really expensive, so you'd wind up with these games that were on like 10 fucking DVDs, right?
Yeah.
And
well, it's funny you say that because they're still doing it for consoles.
That was one of the reasons why MGS4 didn't release on Xbox 360, because they didn't want to make so many discs for that version.
You have on consoles, you will have, and this is just, the slow adoption of the bad things of PC into consoles, even though consoles for decades have been the innovators. So for years you'd have to either like a shitty joystick that barely worked in trying to figure out how to connect that to your motherboard or to your video card or whatever. And then USB came around, and that was great because you were able to actually plug in like a decent enough controller.
Well, the past was what it was. It was a different time.
Hang on. So I understand the past is what it was, but I'm trying to put down a timeline here. So the controllers came over from consoles to PC. So you'd have like stuff that was more ergonomic, easier to hold, things with analog joysticks that were, workable, stuff that wasn't just, one big fucking flight stick, things like that. And sorry, my neck. And so you'd wind up with PCs adopting the best parts of consoles, and they were, because they had a higher cap and they were easier to upgrade quickly, the tech-savvy members of the, the gaming community would be able to say is like, hey, I'm going to upgrade my computer little by little over time and make that work out for me as a gamer. Now, unfortunately, as time's gone on, features have become requirements. So you used to be able to download games off of the disc onto your PS3 hard drive, Xbox 360 hard drive, to make your loading times faster. Towards the end of the Xbox 360 era, that became mandatory to play any games at all. Like, I remember Metal Gear Solid 5 had to install the game, had to install to the hard drive on the Xbox 360, and that was really fucking irritating. But, fucking dealt with it. Now every game has to be like that, even though we have hardware that's more than capable of streaming from the disc. And they've gotten to this point where, like, you don't even get full games on discs anymore. Like, you'll have games that are on, like, 2 Blu-rays or 2 4K discs or whatever now. And that's cool, because you can actually install those. But then you have stuff like the 1 megabyte Metal Gear Solid cartridge for the Switch. You have stuff like the installer on a disc Call of Duty games, where you just put the disc in and authorize the system to play it. Like, Telltale kind of started that. And that all just comes back to things that people got away with on PC. And, like, PC gaming was what started that. Metal Gear Solid 5, for instance, was an installer on a disc, a Steam installer on a disc. Not, like...
Portal 2 was an installer on a disc.
What was?
Portal 2.
Yeah,
I got
Portal
a physical
2
copy
was.
of that on PC. It was a physical installer, like you said.
Yeah. So, when CDs were introduced to the gaming space, optical media, they had to figure out a way to stream things off the disc in order to be able to play. And so things got better, things got faster, and the hardware had to adapt. And that bottleneck made gaming better. Like, games had to be smaller so that they could be loaded into memory in chunks and be able to make things work. And then you just have, here's a hard drive. You can install it onto a hard drive. Well, it's like, well, fuck, now I don't have to optimize my game to load well at all.
Complacency.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that was the kind of thing that was stymied by the hardware innovation of the video game console. That was something that you could actually, you have the ship and the crew and details of the amalgam. And so, yeah, you used to be able to say, is like, okay, so we're going to be able to do this with it, we'll, do this, that, and the other. Or in these days, like, Spider-Man 2 doesn't play right on any console or any PC, And I will say, yeah, it's all about, shitty developers. But the developers have been made shitty by not having to...
I think Spider-Man 2 was made by a bunch of insomniacs.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I haven't laid my timeline down well, but I've talked for far too long, so go ahead, sorry.
Actually, can I finish my point from earlier?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Whatever.
Alright, because I was talking about exclusives and the innovation. I should have made it clear. I'm not saying that's happening right now, because Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, we're seeing the worst versions of these companies right now, because there's no real competition against them. Or rather, they just don't give a shit or have given up like Microsoft has. Let's start with Nintendo. Like, Sony and Microsoft have given up to compete against them. Their only real competitors are Valve. And that's like a small I would say a wasp. It's like a small wasp to
I think
them.
what we need to do, the gaming community needs to hardcore bring back exclusives, because we just can't keep
I'm
going
getting
on.
to that. Let me
We just can't
continue.
keep going on with all these cross-plats.
Yeah, let me get to that. So, like, with Nintendo, they're suing companies they fear competition from, like Power World. They're doing other shady shit, but it's not as bad as in comparison to Sony.
Oh yeah, speaking
Sony
of
has
Nintendo and suing people, though, did you see that thing about the Super Mario grocery store?
Oh yeah,
They
they
lost that suit.
Yeah, because apparently they've been calling themselves that since 1955, and Nintendo only just now had an issue with it.
Yeah.
And the courts were like, no, fuck off. They had this
they've
name
just
first.
now found out about it. Yeah, that's one thing, but
But yeah, with Sony, like, they've been like falling into the DEI trap. Here's the thing, like, they were great with they started going downhill on the second half of the PS4 lifespan when they moved their headquarters to California. They made their head Jim Ryan and someone else, I think.
yeah.
It's Jim Ryan, right?
I think so. Everything.
Yeah, and
I know everything started going downhill when Jack Tretton left. I know that much.
yes. And then the worst possible thing could happen. Microsoft just kind of gave up competing. They genuinely just stopped giving a shit. And Sony's like, oh, cool, we don't have any real competition anymore. And they knew they couldn't keep up with Nintendo on the portable space, so just stayed away from it.
You don't have to compete, you don't have to care.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. They said, oh, let's make all these live service games. Let's make the PS5 Pro, which is absolute dog shit. And you're just seeing no exclusives, no innovation, barely any games on the platform. And now the new CEO, is coming in.
Something here. The PS5 Slim and PS5 Pro launched not long after I got my PS5. And a bunch of people were waiting for Spider-Man. I was one of those people who was waiting for Spider-Man. In fact, you could make an entire,
I've never bought in.
Waiting for Spider-Man, but
I've never bought into the PS5, and I don't really intend to. The console has given me no reasons to invest.
You and everyone else, so people are starting to see through the cracks of a lot of these. Well, not a lot of these, but Sony, because they've been doing.
They've been doing too much shit.
Bad move after bad move after bad move. Yeah, and unlike Microsoft, Microsoft has been doing it out of just sheer stupidity, while Sony feels like they're doing these moves out of spite.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got an agenda ever since I keep saying it was ever since the later half of the PlayStation 4's lifespan, it's all started. Because if you notice, the beginning of PlayStation 4 was fine. The games were coming out.
Yeah, they didn't have
games were coming out people wanted. What games were coming out that people liked.
But they had
but at least there were games people were asking for and people were fine with. But then they started censoring games. They started refusing to release games out in the West. They started nickel and diming. It's like,
you know that reminds me. Nintendo is bringing back its censorship policies.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not. You kidding?
Yeah, no, they are. Neptune got banned in the West because of those policies.
Well, Neptunio also ran like shit on the Switch.
That's false. No, I'm going to debunk that right now. That's bullshit. That footage came from a Switch emulator. It runs perfectly fine on the Switch.
I heard that there was I heard that the American. So Nippon. That's a Nippon Ichi game, right?
Idea Factory.
Idea Factory. Okay.
Idea Factory.
Hey, was that published through NIS America though?
The first few Neptunia games during the 7th Gen days were published by NIS, but eventually Idea Factory started their own publishing.
Okay, because I was going to say IFI.
Also, remember, I just announced that the leaked games that are going to come out for Switch, and those were a Doom game, a Red Dead Redemption game.
Oh, another Dune game.
No, not Dune. Doom.
Oh, Doom.
Doom. So I announced a Doom game, an Assassin's Creed game, and a Red Dead Redemption game. Those games are not going to be censored in the least when they release on Switch 2. So the moment you said they're bringing back the censorship policy, I immediately called.
Yeah, but the issue is that they are.
Immediately called bullshit because I just announced those games are going to be on Switch 2.
Neptune, here's the thing.
Guys. So what Ben's trying to say is that they're censoring, and I think what you guys are going to come to an agreement on here is much like with Sony. They're censoring sexy stuff, but they're not censoring violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah. No, I still don't believe it because, look, if it was full on like that, then they would have gone back to the GameCube and the Wii U days, where they make exceptions to the rule. Now, if that was entirely the case, Doom, Red Dead, and Assassin's Creed wouldn't have been on that console. Period. We would have still just gotten stuff like Splatoon, like Zelda, and stuff like that. We would be seeing tamer versions of Doom, and it would be a game by some other name.
I think you're missing.
We're not talking about censorship of violence, though.
No, but that's the thing. If Nintendo were truly doing censorship, again, they would be consistent, just like how they were before the Wii.
They're not being consistent now. That's the issue.
Then it's another company. It's probably another Treehouse incident.
No, it's not. It's
probably another Treehouse incident.
America,
it's got to be another Treehouse incident.
Let me explain. So
Yeah,
Neptune
go
was released. Neptune was released on Japan on Switch. It ran fine. It was not a broken mess. That was a debunked lie. Someone used an emulator to make it run bad. Nintendo of America banned the game.
You realize there's a lot of games that say that they're sex this and hentai that on the digital storefronts, right?
Yeah,
on the
but
Switch.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're talking about a new release.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't
games
believe
that were
Nintendo
like
is
that on the
actively banning
PS4
newer
as well.
releases.
Oh, because there were sexy games on PS4 as well. But
Right.
then-
This is the reason why I said I don't believe it's Nintendo.
They also banned the swimsuit DLC from the Neptune racing game that's coming out as well. Well, Sony is releasing it uncensored. So yes,
weird.
there has been a major change at Nintendo of America.
That's really
Coming
weird.
out. Is it coming out for the Switch or the Switch 2?
Switch.
The first one.
Yes.
See, that's it's possible. It's
No,
entirely
I don't think that's
possible.
Yeah, I don't think that's a Nintendo thing. I think there's some other
It's
team that's
Nintendo
hired by
America.
Nintendo. Fuck. I believe there's another team that's being hired by Nintendo that Nintendo are trusting them to properly port something over, but it's a treehouse incident like there was with the Wii U, which is why there was a lot of censorship on that one RPG on the Wii U that came out. Or like a bunch of censorship stuff that was with Fire Emblem on the Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, Xenoblade X, Mirage Sessions, that kind of thing.
Sessions, yeah.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Yeah, I have the Japanese
It's
version.
I believe I don't believe it's Nintendo themselves. I feel like I don't think it's Nintendo America themselves. I feel like it's a team that they just put faith in to port something over, but they're taking advantage of that. So
I'd have to start looking at the credits to see what's.
I don't believe it because according to them, it's Nintendo of America blocking the release.
But who?
And they can't
Who's saying that? Who is saying that?
And themselves, last I checked.
Yeah, the developer.
Who?
Yeah, the developer.
Idea Factory.
Yep. It's on. What I'm thinking is this: Nintendo of Japan's fine. They don't care about that kind of censor. They don't care about censoring Japanese games. But Nintendo of America has been given a lot more power to block releases if they so choose. And they are targeting specifically Japanese games like Neptune for being quote-unquote too far. And that's the kind of thing that Nintendo is going down, or at least Nintendo of America. And it really doesn't help that they don't have competition, so they can do whatever they please.
Nintendo? Okay, so Idea Factory International has released a statement saying, Idea Factory International was originally set to release the following Neptunia titles on the eShop on May 21st. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, Rebirth 2 Sister Generation, and Rebirth 3 V Generation, as well as Death End Request Code Z. All of those are supposed to be launched physically and digitally for the Switch, and they will no longer launch in North America, or Europe due to not complying with Nintendo guidelines. Now, Death End Request Code Z will be launching physically and digitally for PS4 and PS5. Those are compile heart games. Let me go ahead and just go through this here. Although the Neptunia series and Death End Request series have prior entries on Western Switch eShops, we were informed that the contents of the Rebirth Trilogy and Death End Request Code Z did not comply with Nintendo guidelines. As a result, we are unable to release those titles physically or digitally for the Switch. Now, contents can mean either for like the game itself or for that can mean a bunch of things. But usually it means like the content of the game. Like the stuff like it's not a not a programming issue.
Is it a sex appeal issue?
Yes.
Possibly a sex appeal issue. And Idea Factory themselves said, hey, like we've put out other stuff on here before. Why aren't they letting us do that? So it's entirely possible.
I think what I'm thinking is that there was a major leadership change in Nintendo of America, and Nintendo of Japan has given them a lot more power to do whatever they please when it comes to like allowing releases and blocking them outright.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking. And then Sony's issues that because there's no competition, they don't really have to try. But with Sony, the cracks have been really showing. Like their games have been bombing back and forth. The only success they've really had was Astrobot. And the new CEO's coming in looking around saying, I fucking told you so, I fucking told you so, and I fucking told you so. I'm canceling all your live service games. Also, I fucking told you so.
Yeah. That's very much what happened, too. Because they canceled like 6 live service games. What wasn't
like
it?
10 of them.
Yeah.
It was like over 10. It was ridiculous. There was a God of fucking War live service game.
Why?
I don't know.
Was.
It's so stupid. Yeah, it was. But they could have been making a new God of War. Why the fuck are you making a fucking... With Microsoft, they kind of just died after the Xbox One. They got humiliated and butt-fucked by Sony so hard that they just don't know what to do anymore. Like, they've just been stumbling around, and when they do find something that helps them, they find a way to kick it away. Like, oh no, what do we do? What do people want? You just kicked it away. You just kicked it, you dumbasses. You have so many IPs you could be using now. You could be making so many games. This applies to Sony as well.
Sony also has a policy of not selling IPs.
Yeah. And
I mean, doesn't stop them from...
And the biggest issue with Microsoft is that, and I'm not gonna blame who's the head of Microsoft right now? What's his name?
Major Nelson? I don't know.
Phil Spencer? I can't remember.
No, he's no longer there.
Yo, fuck, what's his name? The head of Xbox.
Phil Spencer?
Phil Spencer, yes.
Or Major
I don't even
Nelson.
think it's his fault because he's been trying his damnedest, I think. He was behind a lot of the great things after the Xbox One. And I think it's Microsoft. Because what I think happened was that when they did the Activision buyout, they expected to earn back their money very quickly. But then their mobile games crashed. And they didn't get that money back. And what I think is happening is that Microsoft has given the order to no longer do exclusives. Though they did it as a silent order. To give you an example, Phil Spencer made a comment about Indiana Jones being an exclusive title to the Xbox. Guess what happened a few leaks later?
PC.
It was announced for PS5.
Oh,
And
yeah.
someone who was at the Game Awards when this announcement was made, I think it was the Game Awards, it was our award show, and looked over at Phil Spencer, who gave a really enraged look like, God fucking damn it, why did they do this? So I'm thinking Microsoft is making orders behind his back to make these games non-exclusive. And it's going to be the end of it's going to be the end of the Xbox brand. I do genuinely
Frankly, it
believe-
should.
Microsoft has been trying to get out of video games for a long time.
Yeah.
So I
feels-
would not
they
be
are-
at
they have
all
been trying-
surprised.
Here's what I'm thinking. Microsoft is trying to undermine the console to a point where it finally dies. And then, like, I don't think they want to leave the industry completely. I think they want to become a third party. Because if you look at the recent sales charts, their console sales are the worst they've ever been in history. But their game sales have gone up by 60% because of PlayStation and PC.
That's kind of a
Like,
shame
let me-
because Microsoft
Yeah.
has not. I don't think Microsoft has put out a better console than the Series X.
Yeah, the Series X is a genuinely fantastic piece of hardware. I think it's on par with this 360. Oh, actually, no, it's better than the 360 because it doesn't have a red ring of death.
Here's
Yeah.
what's funny though. I feel like Sony wouldn't have sold their consoles well if it weren't for the fact that the PS2 doubled as a DVD player, while the Xbox and the Wii
And the PS3
well,
doubled
something
as
with the
a,
PS3
didn't really do that because
have
out of the
right.
box,
Here's the thing: the
because out of the
Xbox
box,
needed a,
out of the box, the PlayStation, out of the box. Yeah, I was getting to that actually. Out of the box, PlayStation 2, you're able to play DVDs of any kind, whether it be a DVD game, a DVD movie,
Yep, it was
for
my
a TV show,
my
anything.
entertainment center,
as long as you have the parental.
DVD player for a long time.
As long as you have the parental code to unlock your access to, PG, PG-13, and R-rated movies, then you were golden. But for the Xbox, not only did you need to have a wireless receiver to plug into the first controller port, but you needed a special remote right beside that. Regular controllers, for some reason, did not work when you tried to play
Well, that had to be on purpose too.
DVDs of any kind, whether it be for a movie and so on and so forth. Yeah. It was really weird. I feel like if the people actually gave Xbox a chance and not just see it as the Halo machine, it would have sold at least equal to the PlayStation 2 and maybe just a slight maybe Sega would have kept going with the console.
Oh, well, about that, here's a story that will piss you off that Sega did. No, not Sega, Sony. So, what before and after the PlayStation 2 was announced, Sony decided to play really dirty. They went to third-party companies with their dev kits and said, "We'll give you a dev kit if you get rid of your Dreamcast dev kit. If you do not get rid of your Dreamcast dev kit, you will not be allowed to make a game for our console."
Yeah, you'll be behind the times on.
Yes, they made the same threat to Rockstar. They made the threat to Konami. They made the threat to basically everyone that if you didn't drop your Dreamcast dev kit, you would not get a PS2 one. And
that seems like it should have been illegal. Yeah. That seems like there should have been fucking.
It really should have been very illegal.
And over that.
GTA 3 was in development for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And they had to cancel it because they could not afford to make it for the PS2. They had no choice, and it drove Sega out of the business. There are other factors. That's also very true. The DVD drive absolutely pushed PS2 to a really high height. Yeah, but the reason why the PS2 was so
to put a DVD drive on the Dreamcast, and they didn't take it.
And there was also the whole piracy issue because you could pirate stuff on the Dreamcast very, very easily.
And you know what?
But
and you know what they wound up doing on the...
that's outside of the outside of the DVD drive, one of the main reasons PS2 was so successful because they were able to gatekeep so many third-party developers exclusively to the PS2, or force exclusive titles like Resident Evil 4 onto their console a few months later. Yeah. If anyone remembers that.
That also brings us back full circle to like one of the other reasons why why console gaming is actually needed for the gaming industry, and we shouldn't just go all to PC. It's because not only healthy competition, but also because of the exclusive games. Because if not for exclusive games, what's the point of buying one console over the other? Which in turn builds healthy competition.
Well, look at what's been happening with the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Gives them.
Yeah. Well, they make. Here's the thing: they make games to sell the systems, and
they don't need to make the systems anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They do.
Here's the thing: you make the game to sell the system. If you don't have games to sell the system, then there's no point in making the games. Let
me follow that point up because I think Sony might be learning that lesson because with the new CEO coming in. And then looking at Astrobot, the new Astrobot release, they're like, oh shit, we need to do something now. And it's going to take years for Sony to catch up on that. But I think one of the main reasons, and this is a bit of a conspiracy, but I think the CEO sees a new threat on the horizon that Microsoft doesn't comprehend. And it's fucking Valve.
I just remembered part of my point that I was trying to make earlier. So here's the thing. Trying to see if there's anything here where I can abandon this stuff. So one of the things
while you try
having an inherent limiter to the scope of what you can do is really good for video games, because if you say it's like, okay, people will bitch and complain about the 1 year limitation on dev cycles that like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty used to have. But here's the thing. Those games were done in a year. Some great games were done in 9-6 months,
Singularity.
There were a lot of great games that were done in less than a year. Now that these games are taking like 5-6 years, fucking Concord took like 6 years to come out, and it was broken. That game fucking sucked.
Even if that game were to hit PC, it would have done horribly.
It was.
I'm
telling you, fucking competency.
I will
but-
give credit to modern Nintendo on this because they kind of mastered the art of development time. For example, they had to delay one game. I think it was I think it was Xenoblade 3, and they were able to put Paper Mario's remake ahead of schedule because it was already finished months and months in advance. So Nintendo can just have games finished for years and be able to put it in another game's place if need be. Which shows how good Nintendo is at managing its development. I don't know if that will remain the same for the Switch 2, but Nintendo has very much mastered that art, and no one has really come close to that regard. And something that Sony needs to relearn, because they used to be really good at that too. But yeah, with like the threat of Valve's own console coming to Horizon, I think people are underestimating how big the Valve console will be and how dangerous it will be to the ecosystem, including to Sony and Microsoft. I genuinely do think that it would kill off Microsoft in the space.
Well, here's the other thing that I feel like the consoles need to be around for the video game industry. It's simplicity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's something we've been losing.
Because if you were to try and get a game for any piece, and like let's say I wanted to get, I don't fucking know, Mortal Kombat 1. Let's say I wanted to get Mortal Kombat 1 for the PC, but for some reason my PC parts are not compatible. Okay, well that's fair. I'll just upgrade my RAM, get a new graphics card because it's already old, and okay, I guess just for the shits and giggles, I'll get a new monitor. That's not needed, but I want it.
Not needed.
Okay, cool. I get the game, and that's it. But then next year comes around, and it's like, okay, we got Mortal Kombat 1.2. Okay, cool. Turns out my parts aren't compatible with that one. It's like, okay, that's fine. I'll just lower.
Yeah, you gotta have to do some
shit like, So it looks like I'll just have to either lower this setting and then this setting and then this setting, uninstall this, install that, make sure that my computer has the right amount of memory.
PC gaming.
Yeah, and then I have to make sure
I've got the minimum specs in the game.
The right amount of cash to upgrade to something so I can do this one feature. While as if I were to get a PlayStation 6, let's say, all I have to do is make sure I got a controller, it's plugged into the TV and the wall, and I have the game. And I got the game. What do I have to wait for? Nothing, just an update. Maybe another update.
Now you have to wait for the installs, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe another update. Maybe some DLC comes by that's big.
For fuck's sake.
Bigger than I'm used to or that I expected. But that's it. I just have to sit there and it's just game. While with the PC, there's a lot of things that can happen even outside of gaming that can prevent you from enjoying your time on a thing. For all you know, it doesn't even have
to... I've got the recommended specs. Here, let me tell you a real story that happened. And I have the recommended specs. Why isn't this game working? Oh, there's a background process in Windows that's eating up the RAM, and you can kill that, but you have to do it from the task manager, and you have to end the process so that you can make the games run right. Or the launcher itself is causing problems, because every fucking thing has a launcher, or this, that, or the other. It's just stuff. There's stuff that can go wrong that's baked into the fucking environment of PC.
And it doesn't even have to be because of the game. It could just be because of other stuff that you're doing on the PC or that's happening with the PC.
Yeah,
that it can interfere with your gaming and make it worse.
Yeah, stuff like that, and with the rise of SteamOS and Linux is why I think Windows is going to die sooner rather than later.
God, I fucking hope so.
Yeah, because they're going like online only service because they want their stuff to be live service in the coming future. Like the new Xbox console was leaked to be like a Stadia-like console, which is going to bomb so fucking hard.
It's going to bomb. But let's not.
I have fiber optic internet, and Stadia would not.
Let's not even talk Let's not even talk technically. Let's talk psychologically. When I see a gaming system right there connected to my TV, all I have to worry about is if the game works and if the game is good. And if I'm done with it, I just turn it off. Here, if I'm at my computer, I have other stuff on it that I also need to focus on. I have social media. I have stuff related to work. I have stuff that, like, I have to make sure that I get an email read. I have to make sure that stuff on my PC is updated. I have to make sure that I delete something so I can get something working on that PC for a friend. Okay, and that's still something you have to that's still something you have to worry about and have to deal with when it comes to a PC. Hell, I could just be playing one game, and there's still going to be stuff that I have to worry about in the future when it comes to the PC. Forget viruses. That's something you have to always deal with. But if a virus affects your gameplay, or just downloading the game, just having the game, that's a big deal. That's one reason why I always say stick
and God forgive
to simplicity first, and then if you have the time if you have the time, the know-how, the cash, then try your hand at PC gaming. Because with PC gaming, you have to know what you want and know what you need to play modern games too, as well as retro games. Because even retro games, you need to download a lot of stuff.
And then you have to calibrate the emulator to make sure it's working correctly.
Yeah, even your emulators need emulators. As well as with a console, whether it be retro or modern. Okay, I buy console. I plug in console to my wall and TV. I turn on controller. I turn on console. I insert game. Boom.
Granted, the older they get, the more you're going to have to, like, replace components and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
sure, but even then, there are fans out there that not only make, replacement component.
Fucking angel.
Yeah, but I was going to say, not only are there fans out there that are willing to make replacements, but will also make improvements. Like, look at the stuff like with RGB or RVC and stuff like that. They'll make retro consoles appear in 1080p. Yeah, backlit screens for the Game Boy Advance. You know, USB-C for stuff like your Wii controllers, stuff
USB
like that.
Charging for the Game Boy Advance.
Right. There's always support for retro stuff and modern-ish stuff too to make your gaming a little better and more. And still, it's simple. Whilst with PC, sometimes if the time calls for it, you might need to solder, and that's something nobody wants to make a mistake with.
Well, you have to do that with consoles too sometimes. But
I get that, but what I'm saying is that, you know, even with something as advanced as a PC, it's still more advanced than a console, and not many people would either have the time, the money, or the patience, or even all three of them to deal with it.
Here's another thing. If you're a retro PC gamer, you're more likely to have to get into computer programming to get the games working correctly, because I'm just going to use Harry Potter as an example here. So the first two Harry Potter games don't work on. If you have a physical version of that, it doesn't work on modern-day Windows computers, because they relied on Securom DRM. And guess what you have to do? You have to download a crack. Yeah, you have to download a crack to get the legal game that you own working on it, or you have to install like a Windows XP emulator or something, or
there's also the games for Windows Live games.
Games for Windows Live. There's so many things. There's games with installers that modern Windows doesn't support. I remember once, I had to code a new installer for Star Wars Force Commander, and then I lost the fucking files, and I couldn't remember how I did it. Thankfully, some other guy also had the same problem, and also did what I did, but he released it onto the fucking internet.
And you have to search for...
Yeah, you have to search for this stuff. Now, there is PC
for these
Gaming
things.
Wiki.
And I don't mean like, oh, it's just, you're just looking for...
is immensely helpful. But some PC versions of games are just inferior by default to the console version, either because they were programmed incorrectly or because there were just limitations. Like Mega Man on PC is not as good as the NES version because, you know, PC graphics hardware at the time was limited, and it was fucking, I think it was CGA graphics.
Right, but you still have to search for them. Never mind just look. Yeah. You still have to like outright search for them, like you're looking for like a lost artifact in a jungle. It's not like you're looking for. It's not like you're looking for like it's not like you're looking for like a Mario game to play on your NES. You could just type in Mario NES on Amazon and then boom, Mario NES on eBay, boom,
And-
Mario NES on Google,
Yeah.
boom.
Now-
You have to specifically and meticulously search for these cracks to get certain games
Yeah, and The Amazing
to
Spider-Man
work.
1
And
2
sometimes there's a lot of risk
available.
involved.
not available on Steam anymore. If you have like a Steam key in an unredeemed copy of the game, you can still use that.
If
And
you're
still-
lucky.
If you're lucky enough
but
to find one of those, but you can't purchase those games. A lot of games can't be purchased anymore.
Unless you go to a key reseller website, but even then, those are sketchy
Why would
because
you-
some of
yeah,
them
why
could
would
be
you-
stolen.
Yeah, I was gonna say stolen keys, shitty. Stolen keys that don't work, keys for another region.
Physical media is why we exist.
Well, yeah, but the physical games for PC don't matter anymore. Like
Not as much.
the most.
And I think
recent
that's a
PC
problem.
The most
Not as
recent
much compared to
physical PC
console.
games that I've found that actually were worth a damn was there were these steel books that were released they were exclusively at GameStop. There was a series of 10 of them. I own all of them because they sold like garbage, and you wound up picking them up for like 25 cents a piece or $1 or whatever. And like the games on those discs, those are CDs. Those are like indie games like Punch Club, Axiom Verge, Guacamelee, etc. You can get those. You can install those from the CD. They're perfectly fine. Oh! PC version of Undertale that you can find on Fangamer. PC version of Undertale is DRM free.
Alex, physical gaming peaked with the Harry Potter movie collection on PSP.
I own that.
Yeah, and you know I'm right.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But yeah, I do want. Yeah, what was I gonna say? All right, some people say that physical gaming is dying. Not as long as Nintendo's around.
Being
50%,
killed, I'd
50.
say.
It's not being. It's not that it's being killed, and it's not that it's staying relevant. I think the problem is that
Hang on. 50% of Nintendo.
they're trying to still figure out how to completely kill. Hold on, man, both of you. Well, I'm done with this. It's not the fact that they're trying to kill it off or that it's dead.
Let Gizmo speak.
It's not the fact that they're trying to kill it or that it's dead, because fans, people like Limited Run and other places are really trying to keep physical media alive through their physical.
Not really
releases.
enough.
Bro.
Limited Run sucks now. I'm
trying to. Okay, so what they're trying to say.
Just go ahead.
It's not the fact that. It's not the issue. The issue is not that if it's dead or they're fuck. Okay, go ahead.
50% of Nintendo's overall sales comes from physical media. As long as Nintendo exists, physical media is never going anywhere. And the PS6, some of that details got leaked. It still supports physical media. So, it's never gonna go away, thankfully. I don't know why some people are doomers about this.
Another thing about it is that with physical media, say it with me, you can do whatever the hell you want with it.
Exactly.
You want to keep it with you? That's fine. You want to throw it across the street? That's fine. You want to loan it to someone so they can play it and give it back later? That's
Problem
fine.
is,
You can resell it at a higher, lower, or same price than you bought it. That's fine too. With a digital game, I can't do any of that. I can't hold it. I can't look at it. I can't throw it. I can't sell it. I can't loan it. Unless I download it somewhere like Pirate Bay or archive.com and put it in a flash drive. Oh, sure, I can technically give it to someone. But am I allowed to sell it? No.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not. I'm still limited to what I can do with it, even when it's digital.
Yeah. And there are provisions within the Steam user agreement that you can't pass on a Steam library to somebody else when you die. And You know, all
Yeah,
my
I don't like
all
that.
my physical games, all my physical movies and TV shows, my kids are gonna inherit that when I die. And
I don't even
I'm
know
gonna
how
put I'm
Valve.
gonna put
I
a
don't.
thing in my will that says if you can't sell any of this, you have to like maintain this as like the largest private media collection in South
Yep.
Mississippi or whatever. Or I probably won't still be in South Mississippi when I'm 90 or whatever.
Right.
But you get my point.
I don't
There's
know. I
also
don't know.
the
if you-
little-
I
have
don't
the
know.
largest physical
Listen,
private
Alec.
physical media collection
Listen,
and wherever.
Al-
But I'm just
Alec, I
exaggerating.
doubt you'll get that far. You're fighting too many kangaroos to live to that age.
Oh,
I'm
right.
going to be
I forgot
frank with
about
you.
that. I forgot about not having to play dodgeball with the kangaroos on the way home from work.
There's
Yeah, you're
also
going to be dead at age 45 with all these fucking kangaroos in your area.
I punched his eye out. Fatality.
There's
Flawless
also the
victory.
little charm of having physical in the first place. Like
Yes.
never mind just selling them, throwing them, giving them. The fact that you have this on a shelf to look at to your heart's content, like a librarian does with his books, is really cool and really nice to have. Like I can just
touch
pull a
it.
game. I
Lick it. Fuck it.
can pull a game off my shelf. Doesn't matter how obscure or shitty or well known or good it is. I can tell you stories about it, whether they be through how I bought it, why I got it, or just the fact that I played it during a stream with like I don't know, maybe one guy and he paid me $1,000 through $1,000 for some reason. There's something behind it. There's something behind it, even if it's just you buying a stack of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
there's always
Dr.
something
Laws
behind the
did that.
physical game that makes it worthwhile. Like, for example, I have
Now, Ryan,
Rise
I
to Honor,
missed-
right?
I
And that's the
missed
Jet
something.
Li. I have
You
Rise to Honor right here, and it's a Jet Li game. The only game that Jet Li has ever been in, as far as any of us know. And that requires you to use both joysticks, one for moving and one for attacking in whatever direction you need to attack. And I can tell you right now, the story behind that game of how I found out about it was not through commercials, but through going to Sony headquarters to test out the first ever Sly Cooper game.
Oh, nice.
And playing that at a demo kiosk with the Jet Li header was awesome. And the fact that I'm playing as a movie star, dude, that was awesome as a kid. And now that I have it, while people say it's a really shitty game, I still love that memory, and I still love the fact that there's an action game revolving around both sticks being usable constantly, and the fact that Jet Li is still acting like a boss in here.
Now, something I want to bring up is that also, like, with physical media, used to be able to pick up, like, I've picked up, I picked up a copy of the first Highlander movie from a local thrift store, and I was like, oh, what's this? And then, like, since then, I have got, the complete series of Highlander on DVD, the complete series, every Highlander film that's been released on Blu-ray. I bought the 4K of, the first Highlander film. I bought the Blu-rays of Highlander 3 and 4. 2, 3, and 4, regrettably. But, you could find, like, that's a passive marketing tool. Having stuff like that in places is a great way to make a customer for life. Somebody picks up a used copy of, like, the first or second or whatever movie, game, etc. at a thrift store, at a library, at a, pawn shop or whatever, and you find, or on eBay, just randomly, or at a yard sale, you're just looking for something to pass the time, and then you get a customer for life out of that. And those people buy, way more than whatever you would have gotten from that sale alone. And now with all this stuff on streaming, god damn it.
It's the kangaroos again.
Yeah, kangaroo punched me out. But yeah, seriously. Pick up stuff and you play it, and you're hooked forever. And you buy like the next 10 installments over the course of your life. I did that with Legend of Zelda and Metal Gear, and things like that. You used to be able to stumble upon stuff like this, and now, the old stuff is the old stuff is no longer being passed down to the next generation because it's being bought by speculators, and it's also being essentially just non-existent for some things. Like you can't pick up used copies of any Xbox Live Arcade game because the Xbox Live Arcade didn't have physical media. Things like that. But I suppose I've run out of patience for this game. I am very hungry. Nothing against the game, Yahtzee, if you're watching. I love the game, but I'm hungry, I'm tired, and we've been talking about bullshit.
Do you mind if I make
2 hours?
one final point?
What kind of point is it?
I was going to go back to Sony for a quick second because I didn't finish that point originally.
Sony can go fuck themselves with this online activation and Blu-ray drive shit. That is absurd.
They need to change that. But my point was that I didn't finish it, but I do think Valve is going to pose a significant threat to Sony, and they need to start making smaller, good IP games, like like a new Ape Escape, a new Astrobot,
they need
so on
to
and so forth. They need
smaller,
to get
cheaper games that don't require as high as system requirements, that take less time to develop. I want to see the next big thing to come out of Sony needs to take 9 months to a year to develop. No more of this 6-year development cycle crap. 3-year development cycle used to be unheard of.
And I do want to say, I think the straw that will break the camel's back for Sony will be the new Naughty Dog game.
Oh yeah.
Where I think that game's going to break Sony, and they're going to be like, we can't do this anymore. We need to change ship right the fuck now. And they're kind of already doing that with the whole live service cancellations and the new CEO trying to change course. But I think it's that particular game, whatever the fuck it's called by Naughty Dog, that's going to just
Intergalactic.
And yeah,
it's a generic as fuck title.
Yeah, and I don't even fucking why. And another thing, and I think that they are going to do this, is that they need to abandon PC. And I think they will, because all of the releases outside of 1 or 2 have all been failures.
Well, they need to fix the PC ports too.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend
that's too much, Alex.
over
That's too
an
much
hour
effort.
waiting for the fucking
I'm telling you, it's developer
compilers.
incompetence.
No, I agree it's developer incompetence, but they used
That's
to
just
be
part of it,
forced-
though.
There used to be a minimum bar, and now that minimum bar is gone. And
the sad part is that Square Enix is making better PC ports than Sony, and they used to be one of the worst PC porters in the world. How the hell is that even happening? And why the fuck does Final Fantasy VII Rebirth work so well on the Steam Deck? Listen, as much as I don't want PC to be as big of a market as the PlayStation and so on, the Steam Deck might be one of the best devices I've ever owned.
5-hour battery.
I don't give a shit. This thing is fucking amazing. You can also have a longer battery depending on the game you play. It depends on how heavy tech the game is or lack thereof.
It really shouldn't have to depend on the game. That's one of the things I hate about the Steam Deck. It depends what game you play.
Yes, it does.
You can play any game on your Switch.
No.
Undocked.
No,
and
Switch is the same thing.
No,
it
just
yes, it
runs out of
absolutely
batteries.
does.
Just period.
I've had games on
It
the
runs
Switch
out of
die
batteries.
after
Period.
5
No, the
hours.
Steam Deck, it depends on what game you play.
No. Let me try and explain this to you. Let me give you 2 examples. Framemakers. That will give the Steam Deck I believe 10 hours of battery. Well, not give it, but it will make it last that long because it's not taking up much of hardware. Then I'm going to go to an extreme example, Final Fantasy Rebirth, which will eat up the battery way faster, making it 2.5, 3 hour battery life. And the same thing goes for Switch. There are games on the Switch that are intensive and will take down the battery faster. The Tears of the Kingdom will take the battery down faster. Now, granted, yes, the Switch does have a better battery life. It does have a much better, even with the heavy tech games. I think it only takes down the battery, like the most heavy tech games will only take it down like 50% more, but it will still have like over 6 hours worth of battery.
They're not putting everything on Switch though. That's the thing. Mostly everything works on the Steam Deck, which is why it depends which game you play.
Yes.
Will make your system run out of batteries faster. While the Switch, they're not putting every game on there. They're only putting certain games on there. They know their limitations, which is why it doesn't run out of batteries depending on which game I play.
It's not that they're putting every game on Steam Deck just for the sake of it. It has the same
play the
library.
latest Final Fantasy VII remake.
No, you're not listening. It has
You
the same.
yourself.
Let me finish. It has the exact same library as the Steam PC. They're not restricting it because Valve wants it to be open source. They want people to access everything on every platform they have, like PC, Steam Deck. They want it to be cross. The reason why Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is supported on the Steam Deck is because of two things. One, Square wanted to support on the Steam Deck. That's the first reason. This leads into the second reason. Square Enix is preparing to bring the Final Fantasy VII remakes to Switch 2. They're using the Steam Deck to test this.
And how much you want to bet those cloud version?
It's not. No.
It will be.
No,
it will be.
No, it won't. No, dude, no. That's not happening.
You know why I say this?
No.
You know why I say this?
The Switch 2 specs are stronger than the Steam Deck. It's not going to be cloud.
And you're still running out of batteries faster than you would when you play Pong on the thing. You know why I say it will be cloud version? Because when they try to do that with more powerful games on the Switch, what were they on? The cloud.
Right.
No, that's not happening.
Released on that thing. What was on? Cloud version. Hitman was on that thing as the cloud version. Resident Evil 7 was on the thing as the cloud version. The moment they release Final Fantasy 7, anything to remake on Switch 1 or 2, it's going to be cloud version.
So why isn't the PC version's cloud version in that logic?
Hang on, guys. So I can answer that. The PC version can't be a cloud version because that's not how the Steam Deck works. For some reason, it is how the Switch works, but we've been going for an hour longer than I wanted to. I wanted to end the stream an hour ago.
One more thing. Let me do one more thing.
So we're going to.
You said that last time,
guys. We're going to keep going into perpetuity if I don't stop this.
Rhino, let Rhino answer his question. Rhino, ask
your question.
Well, the one thing I wanted to ask is that considering all the issues we've had with Sony being censorious and Nintendo not bringing games like the Neptunia games out there, it's like, at that point, what would be the point of competing if you're not going to actually, fucking compete?
Well, you have to force them to compete, and that's what's happening with Sony right now. Yeah, Sony's being put through a corner in a hard place because Sony's realizing that they're losing a ton of money, and they're realizing that Valve is becoming a big threat to their ecosystem.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that's entirely competition. That could just be that, like.
Well, because Valve, hang on it. I didn't explain this, but Valve is making its own console. I know, but I think Sony. I know. I'm just saying, like, they see the wall, they see the sign on the wall, because when the Steam console does release, it's going to have PlayStation 5 games and Xbox Series X games. Excuse me. So
I'm gonna say this before I go. I will totally buy the PS5 version of the Master Chief Collection and the Switch version of the Master Chief Collection. Just because that's gonna be fucking hilarious to own.
Yeah.
Oh god, it hurts to see because I want Microsoft to thrive with the Xbox. I want the Xbox to be good because they have had some amazing exclusives
they need to fire
before.
The people in 343 Industries and not just rename the studio.
Bad news! They hired the guy behind Concord to make a new Halo.
No, I don't.
They're fucked.
I'm leaving.
You didn't know? What do you mean no? Reaction
for all I care. I'm just gonna use my Xbox Series X to play fucking Sonic Unleashed and Modern Warfare Trilogy and
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna play a game made by the same guys who did Concord. I might as well just watch Toby Tanaka on my goddamn Xbox. Fuck all y'all.
I do not know.
My Concord, man.
Imagining Yahtzee tuning into this stream and him going, what are these fucking retards talking about?
I got 10 DVDs
Like,
of
oh, that reminds me. Did you know that
Tomy Tanaka. I'll gladly watch them all in one sitting sooner than I'll play anything from the guys who did Concord. Fuck it.
By the way, now that we're on the topic, did you hear?
This is a great way to end it. Alex quickly in the stream.
I heard somewhere in the grapevine that the Sucker Punch hired the devs from Dragon Age Veilguard to work on Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah, I heard about that too. I have not played Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't care.
Gizmo's triggered.
Veilguard is terrible. I watched, so for anybody who wants to, go watch Mauler's compilation of all the bullshit that goes on in Dragon Age Veilguard. It's hilarious. Bye, everybody. You know where to find me, Ben, and
my balls.
You know where to find Gizmo and Gizmo Hibiki. You can find Damon Brett on BitChute. Where do you go? What's your name? DBrett12 on BitChute.
The DJ Brett 12.
The DJ Brett 12, yes. And Rhino doesn't have anything to promote yet. And we will